Powder your face with sunshine. Put on a great big smile. Make up your eyes with laughter.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present The Big Hoodoo by Bill White, with Jen Pearson as the keeper of arcane lore.
There it goes.
And it's on. What about this other thing here?
That's on. It doesn't have a light, which is very disconcerting, but you just have to believe.
They couldn't put an LED on there? It's 3 cents. 3 cents.
I know. But I think, if I check the...
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It does have a bar. Say something, Jen.
Okay, so this adventure is called The Big Hoodoo, written by Bill White.
Okay. And you're,
Let me put you in the picture. We are in the we're in the 1950s.
Okay.
The year is 1952. It is June 19th, 1952.
Okay. Wow.
It's the early 50s. The Second World War has only been over for 7 years.
Okay.
60% of the U.S. population owns a vehicle. U.S. families, most of them don't have a car. You've got McCarthy's red baiting witch hunts are in full swing. The Rosenbergs have been found guilty of delivering atomic secrets to the Soviet Union and await their execution. Harry Truman is president. On television, which is only available in black and white to 34% of American households, I Love Lucy and Dragnet have just ended their first season.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it's pretty early. So, Bob Heinlein and his wife Ginny have briefly returned to the West Coast from their new home in Colorado on the first leg of a tour around the world, paid for with money earned from Bob's work on the movie Destination Moon.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and in this time period, rocket ships were thought to be complete lunacy until World War II, and then they were seen as pretty important. So you've gone from complete wackadoodle lunatic to, hey, this stuff is pretty good for fighting.
Everybody talking about rockets.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is weird to think about, like all the things that we're thinking, like, what?
Well, that's crazy.
And it's like, okay. Well, I guess we really need to use that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So, the Heinleins are in San Francisco visiting with Bob's friend Tony Boucher.
Oh, you're
Ta-da!
All right. Renae, played by Renae.
Played by Renae, a writer and editor of fantasy, horror, and science fiction.
Okay.
You are a science fiction aficionado who has become one of the founding editors of the magazine of fantasy and science fiction. Rising young talent Phil Dick,
Ayo.
by David, is Boucher's protege. And you have just started attracting attention for your intensely introspective and reality-bending science fictional imagination, and you are considering giving up your job as a record store clerk to work on writing.
OMG.
Don't give up that.
Don't give up your day job.
Yeah, I can be an angry record store clerk.
Okay, so as you all are in the Los Angeles area,
Where in
Or Los Angeles.
Los Angeles,
Pronounce it.
you learn that brilliant but bizarre rocket scientist Jack Parsons died 2 days ago.
Oh dear.
He was killed in his own makeshift garage laboratory by the accidental explosion of a volatile chemical. Or, so the Pasadena police are going to conclude, after what will seem to be an open and shut investigation. Of course, the newspapers are having a field day with the eccentric scientist's dabblings in the occult, his association with the diabolist Aleister Crowley.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Fucker again.
There he is.
He just shows up.
He's
everywhere.
He's everywhere. Per Durabo. And his outlandish theosophical writings, no one in their right mind seriously believes.
Oh, that was very loud.
That's right. That Parsons' death has any other cause than his simple, careless handling of some dangerous chemicals. Parsons was an absolute expert in all chemicals for explosion his whole life. That's all he devoted himself to. So it's similar to a doctor accidentally cutting himself to death with his own scalpel.
So that makes no sense.
Makes 0 sense. And yet,
Really drunk.
exactly.
Chemicals.
If you live by the chemical, you die by it.
Oh my god, no.
Bingo.
Not used to playing.
So there's an article.
Just it's very distracting. And then I'm playing Ginny.
You're Ginny, Heinlein.
And,
I'm Robert.
okay.
Bob.
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 Bab.
Good old Bob, who's finally making
Yeah.
some doski.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a.
So that's really weird to
What?
have him die of that. Like,
It's shocking.
That's not.
He was
that's-
young.
Okay.
You think he was still in his 30s.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's very strange.
So we have an article
Okay.
you published yesterday in the Los Angeles Times.
Oh.
Rocket scientist killed in Pasadena explosion. I'm going to read it out loud rather than pass
Yes,
it around.
yes,
That's fine.
yes,
Absolutely.
that's worse.
A brilliant Pasadena rocket propulsion expert met death in an explosion that ripped apart his garage laboratory yesterday. And, as a tragic aftermath, his mother committed suicide by taking sleeping pills
Oh.
immediately after learning of his death.
Oh my.
Holy shit.
John Parsons, 31! 31!
That's very young.
Wow.
A former Caltech scientist and instructor, and
Yeah.
one of the founders of the school's famed Arroyo Seco Jet Propulsion Laboratory, was killed when 2 explosions occurred almost simultaneously.
Okay.
His laboratory was demolished, a laboratory on the grounds of the former Bush estate at 1071 South Orange Grove Avenue, Pasadena. Parsons' mother, Mrs. Ruth Virginia Parsons, 58, of Glenarm Street, Pasadena, took 45 pills.
Whoa.
45.
45
Wow.
after she was notified of her son's death.
That's so sad.
About an hour after the explosion. Parsons was recognized as one of the foremost authorities on rocket propulsion since leaving Caltech in 1946. He had been employed as a consultant by many firms. His brother-in-law, Robert Cameron, 28, of North Rampart Boulevard, told newsmen Parsons and Dr. Theodore von Carmine had founded the Caltech Jet Laboratory in Arroyo Seco. The explosives expert was preparing for a trip to Mexico on a job assignment, the nature of which was very secretive. Cameron said Parsons was last employed by the Burmite Powder Company in Tujunga. Is that correct?
Tahunga.
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 Oh my
Tahunga.
god, oh my god, oh my god.
You're right there.
Yeah, good.
I live like 5 minutes
Yeah.
from Tahunga and
Yeah?
about 15 minutes from JPL. So.
Yeah.
Parsons was apparently packing bottled explosives in a box to take with him on the trip today when the explosion occurred.
Uh-oh.
It was followed immediately by a second, larger explosion, setting off other explosives stored in the room. This is according to Pasadena Police Lieutenant John C. Elliott. 4 tenants residing in the building above the garage laboratory were uninjured, but were routed from their apartments. Salvatore Ganci, an artist who occupied the unit directly above the laboratory, said the blast ripped a large hole in the floor and broke the leg off his grand piano.
Wow.
Yeah. The bodies of Parsons and his mother were taken to the Turner Stevens mortuary in Monrovia, where a wake will be held tomorrow at 3 p.m.
The bodies have already been. I mean,
Yep, the bodies are cremated. Boom. Well, you know what? Yeah. What was left of
Yeah.
Right, sure.
of Jack.
Yeah.
So here we are.
So it's a double wake.
Yeah,
That's freaking horrible.
And he has a wife, right?
Marjorie Cameron.
Marjorie Cameron.
Well, he has, yes, he's with her at the time. I mean, he's in a relationship with Marjorie Cameron at the time of his death. I don't know if they're actually legally married.
Oh, you mentioned a brother-in-law?
Brother-in-law. That's Marjorie's brother is Robert.
Robert Cameron.
Robert Cameron.
All right.
All right. This is a character-based investigation, so it's more about exploring what you got than trying to get from point A to point B to point A to point B.
Okay.
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 All right. Here we are. We are in a car and we are driving to the wake.
All
All
right.
of
I was
us.
just about to ask if we're invited.
Yeah.
Well, you're showing up anyway.
So I've come down from the Bay Area and have met up with Tony.
With Tony. Yes.
Because he's like your mentor, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So he is like mentoring you in writing.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
and then Tony knows the Heinleins.
Right.
That's right. You guys, pretty big stars. You're all driven down together from San Francisco to attend a wake for Jack Parsons, and that you're staying at the Aztec Hotel in Monrovia.
Okay.
Okay.
What happened to that?
Yeah. There's some stuff in here about driving. I'm not going to be playing that portion of the game. I'm going to use those driving points that you have towards other things that are more fun.
You don't want to take us through the reality of Los Angeles traffic.
I don't think that would be. I won't. No.
Couldn't have been as bad as it is now.
No, everything was
wasn't good.
Blacktop
Yeah.
then, so they didn't have the interstates.
It's
you know?
underdeveloped. Like it's, so
There is in fact a significant road which I'm not going to trouble to remove. It's got to be done on foot. So that's for next time.
To get to the wake? Or
No,
to-
forget that. Forget I said anything. I am the way.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Yeah.
and you don't need to. I am the way to a city of woe.
Oh.
All right, you're driving up to the Live Oak Cemetery, following an oak-lined driveway curving past rows of white headstones, stretching off in every direction.
Yeah.
You pull into the parking lot, where a man in a cheap suit, lanky, bespectacled, paperback with a lurid cover in his hand, stands awkwardly by his car, looking expectantly towards your approaching vehicle.
Oh.
Oh shit, somebody mutters. It's Forey Ackerman.
Oh no!
All right,
This guy.
now we're in it.
Alright.
Ackerman peers at your car until you get close enough. He recognizes you.
Oh shit.
He raises a hand in greeting. I wanted to pay my respects in there. Jack was one of us, but I'm nervous. I'm glad you fellas are here. Can I tag along with you?
Oh, jeez.
What do you guys think?
Hey, Bob.
Space in the car?
Sorry, pal.
You're here already. Come on out.
Car's full.
No, you're here already. Car's out. Everybody get out.
Yeah, we're getting out.
We're getting out. I'm there already.
He wants to follow us.
Hey, Bob, how was the drive down? You staying long? Where's your hotel? Bob. Bob. You know I love Destination Moon.
Thanks, Forey.
Those Bone Steel backdrops are top notch.
I didn't have much to do with that part of it, but
But Jack did, that's why we're here today to talk about Jack.
Oh,
and
yeah,
what a great
Jack.
person he was. And
It's sad. It's really sad.
yes, I think we should focus on that today.
Oh, Jenny.
agree.
Yeah, okay, Jenny. I guess.
Just about priorities.
I guess
is
you're
what I'm
right. I
saying.
guess you're right. Oh, Phil! Phil!
Mr. Ackerman?
You wrote The Little Movement! And beyond lies the wub.
Yes, I did.
I love those stories. They're so twisted.
Well, thank you.
You'll have to come over to the Acker Mansion and sign my copies.
Acker Mansion?
If there's-
Yeah, my Acker
Yeah,
Mansion.
the Acker Mansion.
Oh, God.
It's all
What's
one word.
up?
it's a ridiculous pun.
Acker Mansion. It's loaded with my Siffy stuff. All my little models and my signed books and...
That sounds pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, we should go over there. Don't you think?
Now, Ginny, what have I told you about encouraging you?
Don't feed the trolls, Jim.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Are we there
And now I hand it to you. You're,
Okay.
in the foyer
Let's
of the
get to the
funeral
right.
home.
Okay, yeah, let's just keep walking.
Who walks in the door first? Let's roll to see who walks through the door first.
okay.
Highest roll
I like
wins.
it.
Oh, you don't
Highest
have a
roll?
die. You need a die?
I
D6.
Here you are, dear.
have my bag somewhere.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, it's for... All
Where's my bag?
right, what do we got?
And a
Got
six.
one.
You roll... Okay, you're 6. Anybody else got a 6?
4.
4. All right, you win. As you're walking in...
No doubt because your husband opened the door for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me see now. The building consists of 2 low, block-shaped structures of whitewashed adobe connected by an open breezeway. One, slightly larger, is windowless, with a narrow, tapering, cylindrical chimney rising from it. That is a crematorium.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
The other is cut with half a dozen abstract stained glass panels along the side, giving the impression of religiosity
Right,
without any
right.
specific denominational
Right.
commitment. Entering the funeral home, the investigators proceed into a vestibule with stained glass windows on either side.
Okay.
Okay. You, Ginny, notice Ed Foreman, Ed Foreman is one of Jack's childhood friends, and he's an engineer.
Okay.
And then there's Dr. Theodore Van Carmen of Caltech,
Right.
which is Jack's mentor. Okay, they're standing in the vestibule. Okay, you walk in, you see Ed Foreman give something to Von Carmen, a small object like a set of keys or a small piece of jewelry.
Okay.
Now, do you have assess honesty? No, you do not. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Does Bob?
I do.
Alright.
You'd be
So
coming in right after.
I'm gonna poke. I'm gonna just say,
Mhm, all right.
look at that.
All right. Bob gets the impression that Ed Foreman is reluctant to give this thing up to Von Carmen. That he is pleading or warning Von Carmen about something. And then Von Carmen's reply seems to shock or upset Foreman. And then Von Carmen makes an abrupt about face and departs, brushing past you all with a brusque nod.
Oh my gosh.
How rude.
Yes.
That's very rude.
Of course, it's not rude when we do it to Ackerman, but I mean,
Right. Exactly.
it's different.
That's different.
Alright, so
Ackerman sounds suspiciously like Aggravain.
Too soon.
so I'm gonna go to Ed.
You're going up to Ed? Great.
And I'm gonna say I'm really sorry. I know Jack was a good friend of yours,
Yeah.
and I'm so sorry about this tragedy.
So you're going to try and reassure him, and that's what you're doing. So you notice that Ed looks like he's been through the ringer. He is 39. He's loose-limbed and lanky, with a long, serious face and large hands. The death of his childhood friend has hit him hard.
Is there any coffee or anything nearby? Like a little.
No, there's no.
Okay.
There's no. It's
All right.
pretty basic.
Okay.
You don't understand what it's like to lose someone, and then he starts spilling it.
Oh.
Oh.
He's gonna say, me and Jack were friends since my family first came to Pasadena.
Wow.
He was a little rich kid with no friends, except me. We needed each other. He got bullied a lot, but I was a big kid, and I wouldn't let them get away with it. We started experimenting with rockets early on, and he was the brains and I was the hands. We were partners in everything. We wanted to build a rocket to fly to the moon. We had one last project we were working on, but that bitch sold him out.
What are you referring to?
The grieving widow, that's who.
Oh, really?
I can't say anymore. It was hush-hush government work.
Oh. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm at a loss.
Okay.
I'll join Ginny, and so Van Carmen isn't going to stay around.
No. He's got some pretty important business. He's got something he's got to take care of.
Is it some of Jack's work?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't.
Still hush hush.
Yeah, I can't say anymore.
Mm.
The FBI and communism.
What?
Yeah, it's.
He was tied up in all that stuff?
Oh yeah.
Well, Von Carmen, or was it Jack?
Both of them.
Huh.
You notice that Foreman's face is puffy and bruised, looking like he was in a fight.
Oh.
Parsons couldn't find much work in national security industries because the FBI was investigating him. And,
Did they think he was a communist?
he's possibly suspected.
Do you know anything about that?
I think everyone's a communist these days.
True. I just think you would have mentioned something you knew about it.
He was sort of aloof last time we spoke.
And of course, Jack was never the same after Crowley died.
Well,
All he said was, "We have to get his ashes. We have to get his ashes." We have to get
did he ever
somebody's
get
ashes."
those?
I don't think he did. No.
I mean, why would he want them if he's not even related to him?
Well, it's black magic. It's all part of the whole black magic thing he was involved in. You know about that, don't you, Jenny?
I know about it. I don't believe in it. But
Oh, well,
I know
it's
about
real.
it.
It's real.
It's real.
Once, after working, I went home and I woke up at midnight. I felt the whole house shake. I looked outside and I saw these lights floating in the sky coming closer and closer. They were shrieking louder and louder. I ran inside, I could still hear them. I thought I was going to go crazy. The next thing I knew, it was morning and Jack was at the door. He had tears running down his face. Crowley had died. The telegram was right in his hand. Those things I saw were banshees, the spirits of death. We'd call them up somehow.
I'm looking at Bob shaking my head saying no. Like, no.
That's a valid scientific explanation.
Exactly.
I'll put a consoling hand on his shoulder.
He's obviously
offer
ill.
my flask.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Now, Mr. Foreman, Phil Dick, condolences on the loss of your friend.
Thank you.
You weren't caught up in any of that stuff, were you?
Well, hell yes, I was.
I love this guy.
If I caught up, you mean up to hearing it? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no kidding.
Jack and I were together in everything. We're together.
Oh.
Through the thin times and the thick
Partners.
times.
So I'll
Didn't you
come
hear what he
wandering up and
Boucher.
sorry about your loss. Is that how you got the bruises? Looks like you got a few marks on your face there. Is that from the black magic?
No, this has nothing to do with the black magic part.
Okay.
Disagreement with someone?
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah.
Did you see a doctor about that?
No, I'm fine. God, I'll be fine.
I just want to make sure you're
No, I'm fine.
Did that have to do with Jack?
No.
You're getting fights a lot?
That bitch may have set me up. The bitch may have sent me up. That's all I gotta say on the matter. And then he stumbles
Oh.
into a chair and buries his face in his hands.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy's on the edge.
He's a mess.
Yeah, he's a big old mess. You're in the morning chapel.
Alright, so I'm going to try to... there, like
Yeah.
on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a seat?
He's in the seat. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's in the
He's
seat.
taking the
Oh,
seat.
So
I thought he was
yeah.
Take another seat.
Yeah, yeah.
So I look around for like water or anything to give him something to
All
drink.
right. So there's probably one of those glass canisters upside down, one of those little cone cups.
Okay, so I'm going to
Horrible
find
little
something
cone
like
cups.
that and
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it to him.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the...
There's plenty to go.
All right.
All right.
Wow, this is...
I'm looking for some more of Jack's, friends.
Absolutely. Now you're in the morning chapel. Leaving the vestibule through the archway. You follow a long hallway that runs the length of the building. About halfway down, an easel festooned with the wreath of flowers stands outside the open doorway. It bears a sign that reads, In Memoriam, Marvel Whiteside's John Parsons, 1914 to 1952.
Marvel Whitesides?
Yeah, that's his name.
I didn't know that.
Before the investigators enter, you see a morning chapel with the large stained glass window, one of those non-denominational windows, and there are 2 brass canisters.
Oh, man. There they are.
And there's wooden pews on a central aisle.
Right.
Okay. And then Ackerman is still tagging along with you guys.
Oh, man. Who's he talking to?
To you.
To me! Jesus!
He says, Look, there's the widow.
Oh, good. Well, I'll go talk to her.
By that pair of urns, and that must be her brother next to her.
Robert.
Robert Cameron.
Alright.
And then there's a woman with a white hair and a strong jaw. She's Jane Wolfe.
Okay.
She was once a big name in the movie biz, way back when. Apparently, she knew Crowley himself personally and helped Jack learn magic. Then there's Jack's ex-wife, Helen.
Oh, man.
And in front, she has her little boy, Quen.
Oh.
And speaking of ex-wives, Bob.
Oh, shit. No!
Isn't that Leslyn over there?
No! No!
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was going to go over and talk to Marjorie, but I don't think I'm going to now.
Stay with me, Deanna.
But, I think Tony liked, oh no, he didn't. He knows about her. No, never mind. Sorry. Anyway.
Okay, so we've got in the room, we've got Robert Cameron, Leslyn Heinlein, Marjorie Cameron, Jane Wolfe.
Is there a way I can go and talk to Marjorie without bumping up against Leslyn?
Sure.
Okay.
Leslyn? That's her name.
Yeah. Leslin.
Leslie.
L-E-S.
Leslin?
Like she's wool.
Leslin.
I'll come with you. I'd like to
Okay.
talk.
It's not a very large room.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
yeah, I don't
It's
know
the
about
wee
that.
Chapel of the Dawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, just 1 second here.
Well, I'm going to
Well,
kind
yeah.
of sidle up next to Robert,
Okay.
introduce myself.
He's 28. He's a slender young man who greatly resembles his sister, except that his hair is dark instead of red.
Oh,
He's overwhelmed by the circumstances.
I
So
bet.
he looks broken up as well.
Hello.
So not weepy.
No, it's good to meet you. It's good to meet you.
Addled.
Yeah.
Breathing.
If there's anything I can do.
Oh, Marjorie's very upset.
Alright, so I'm gonna go. So, Tony, yeah, we'll go talk to Marjorie.
All right, so I'm going to continue this conversation
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Robert,
that's
and then
fine.
we'll get to that. All right. She and Jack were going through a really tough time
Oh, you don't say.
right before the death, yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
The project he was working on for the government was almost finished, and then we're going to go take a vacation.
Oh.
Try to work things out.
Yeah, I've heard about this project. I don't suppose he told you about it.
What?
The project?
What do you know about the project? What do you know about the project?
Just talking to
How do you know about? What are you doing here? Even?
Talking
Who
to
are
Mr.
you?
Foreman just earlier.
Oh my god.
And at that moment, Helen Smith notices the awkwardness.
Okay.
And she comes in and she says, "Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Phillip is a friend. We don't have to worry about Phillip. It's going to be fine, Robert. Everything's fine." And so then Robert will continue now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been anxious for Marjorie. You know, especially since Jack died. So all these strangers are coming around, and I feel like I got to protect her from I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, Jack's gone. You know, I know he's been really excited. Oh, he's dead now. Oh, I can't believe he's dead now. Marjorie's afraid they're coming to take her in for questioning.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple of days. Marjorie's been beside herself. Having to stay at her poor dead mother-in-law's apartment isn't easy either.
Oh my god.
It's awful. I'd say she could stay with me, but it's too cramped in my apartment. And then they got that big trailer in my driveway. Oh, they're never gonna go.
Big trailer, huh?
They were gonna go on down to Mexico. And I don't know now what we're gonna do. All the cards are in the air.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
I don't suppose he had a will.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm presuming Marjorie would have a will. Any of that.
Alright,
All right.
I'm gonna go talk to Marjorie.
Okay. She's 30.
Tony, yeah?
Yeah, I want to go.
Okay.
You gotta
Along
go.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hello, Tony.
Hi there, Margie.
Hello, Tony.
And I'll give her a hug.
Oh my goodness. Are you okay, dear?
No, I'm not okay.
Are you taking anything for your... You seem very, very out of sorts. Are you sure you should be here today?
Oh, absolutely. Of course I should be here. I should be everywhere. If I'm here, then I'm there.
Okay.
Oh.
Someone's looking for luck.
Leslin comes up to you, Bob.
I should have made my way to the wolf woman already.
Too late.
Oh,
Well, I'm unpleasantly surprised by your presence here, Bob.
hello, Leslin. It's nice to see you as well.
You can smell alcohol on her breath.
Oh,
Yes,
poor
I would
thing.
imagine so.
Yeah. Short, dark hair. My patrician looks have been ruined by drink.
Well,
No. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's your fault. He's dead.
Whoa.
Where are they in
be
Yeah,
together.
where are they
Nearby? Like,
Yeah, how close are they?
Communicate with me.
We're
this,
4 feet away from each other and 8 feet from you two.
Okay.
Leslie, communicate with me this reason why it's my fault that Jack is dead.
He came to you for help. You pushed him away.
Is she getting a little louder?
You have to make a stability test.
Oh, Jesus.
Stability.
She is going straight for the jugular. And you were just expecting to,
just awkward.
just, yeah.
Oh.
So remember, 4 better is a success. You can spend stability, give yourself +1 per point spent,
Okay.
but it's kind of like you're spending against an anticipated loss. So in a case like this, you probably wouldn't want to spend any. Just
All right.
let the dice gods decide.
Sounds good. So 4 better succeeds. I get a 4.
All right. You handle it just barely.
Leslie, he was dealing with things that were sensitive, and it's not a good time for anyone to be caught up in that sort of thing.
Bob, Jack wasn't stuck in the past. Like some people I know.
So I want to know if I can hear her, like, getting more
Oh,
agitated.
yeah. She's making a scene.
Okay, so I'm going to head over.
She's making a scene.
I'm going to head over.
A scene is being made.
Yeah.
She is for the scene.
Alright, so I'm going to stand next to Bob now.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
You just threw water on a grease fire.
I'll take some of the
The black.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I can take it.
Oh, you're a red-headed Navy slut. Just like that other one over there, another red-headed Navy slut.
Leslie, you're going too far.
Uh-oh. Wow.
She was pointing at Marjorie there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that is an
What,
awful
me?
way to speak about. That's an awful way to speak about Marjorie. And you obviously are drunk, and you need to either leave so that you don't cause any more pain that's already going on here, or you need to shut up.
So as a neutral third party, I will be approaching, and come along, ma'am. Well, I can take you out for a walk. So perhaps some fresh air will help clear your head.
And what do you do for a living?
Well, I'm a writer.
Oh, my God. Here's what I loved about Jack. Jack was actually trying to create a real future for this nation. A better future. Not just right, but a tomorrow that's really just a dressed up adolescent power fantasy.
Whoa.
It's not the first time I've heard that. I'm sure it won't be the last.
Why don't you go with him, dear?
Is anybody prepared to make a point spend?
Oh yeah, let me see if I have any psychology here or anything. I have pharmacy. Could I drug her?
She's already inebriated enough.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Oh man, I don't want to use flattery or anything.
Yeah, I actually don't have any personal skills.
Yeah, me neither.
What about bargaining? Would that
How much do you have of that?
too?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
Well, I don't know.
Anything?
I might be
what's
worth it.
under your interpersonal abilities?
Gotta assess honesty, bargain.
Ooh, I'll give you a bargain. I'd take you a bargain and give you an extra bargain if you want a bargain.
Yeah.
How would you bargain with a crazy lady?
Let me go try to talk some sense into this raving
know.
Maybe.
derelict.
I don't know. This is a funeral. It's not the place to talk.
Don't try to teach me. I'm an adult. I presume you're an adult, Boucher?
Alright, I'm gonna use flattery.
Yes.
Okay.
Women, am I right? No, actually, I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't say that.
No,
I would say that.
you would say.
Oh, you Navy waves, man.
Yeah.
You damn right.
God damn it.
Work it.
I know, I'm trying to figure out the
Work that flattery. Work it. Work it.
Okay, so she doesn't want to talk to Marjorie.
Your husband's
Maybe.
ex-wife.
Yep, you can do this. This can be done.
Yeah, I know, it can't be done.
I think the bigger thing would just be to walk away.
No.
No.
She's gonna start tipping over.
No,
urns.
I'm
Right.
gonna let her have the
Don't
last
think that's
word.
not.
Yeah, no.
There's a big floral arrangement right there.
Marjorie, I'm sure Helen could use your support right now. And you're so good about cutting to the quick in terms of what is important going on right now. So it looks
You
like
gotta read on me, that's for sure.
Yep.
you're so
Just backing
obvious.
up.
You're so obvious. Yes, but so I think it might be way much better. Your abilities would be better used right now. Talking to Helen. Just Bob's an easy target.
Well,
I'm right here.
I can hear you.
Dear, I'm right here.
So she's going to break down at the tiniest show of kindness. It's going to cause her to flip out and say, and fall down crying and say, yes, I was Jack's friend.
Yes.
We both knew what it was like to be betrayed by someone you loved. Bob! I tried to help him. It wasn't much. I gave him some money.
Oh.
He said he needed it as a deposit on surveying equipment that he needed to rent to lay out the range for a rocket he was going to test.
Okay.
He used to lay out a range.
A range for a rocket, yes. He was involved in a project, rocketry.
Well, focus on your friendship with Jack. I'm sure he would be happy to know that you're here today. Oh my gosh.
Let's
Slowly walk away.
yes, slowly back away. That's what I've learned.
Oh my god, she's weeping. You take her for a walk, Bill.
What, me?
Yeah.
No, she doesn't like male riders.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. That was clearly a mistake on my part.
I'm right. Oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I'm gonna give her some tissues that I have in my bag. Here you go.
So did
Yeah.
Marjorie hear any of that?
Slut, did you hear the slut comment?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering.
She may have, yes. She may have heard
She's
this
so
woman
out-
yelling,
Yeah.
but
The word slut was
it
bandied
doesn't.
out.
That doesn't bother her at
Yeah,
all.
she's
She
over
honestly
it.
doesn't
She's
give
in a
one
world of
shit about
pain
that.
right now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well,
Wow.
No more questions for the Leslie?
I'm going to back away less than gracefully and just sort of mutter her name,
Okay.
and then make my way over to Jane Wolfe.
something, Leslie.
Something.
Okay, I'll follow Bob. I'll follow
Okay,
Bob.
no one has a follow-up for
Do you
Leslin?
have any follow-ups for her?
I know.
No? Voucher? Follow-up for
No.
Leslin? All right,
I got nothing.
moving on.
Alright.
Yes, no, what?
I can't. I'm not in the position to ask her any more questions.
You've spent the flattery
I
point.
did. I spent it and I'm done.
No, you can,
I
what?
can ask
Yeah.
her. Oh,
Yes,
oh,
you- I'm leaving the door.
Very powerful thing.
okay.
Yes, it is.
So, let's one more thing. So the
Just one more.
Cigarette.
You actually did that organically. That's amazing.
Yes.
how was this? I mean, so you gave him some money for the
Yeah.
the land. So, did you ever get to see the range? Did he ever make it?
Well, I don't know where it was, so no, I never got to see it. He got a contract, but you
Who?
have to. The Hale Observatory. He got a contract with the Hale Observatory for rocketry work,
Okay.
but I don't know where that was to be.
Yeah.
It's funny he wouldn't tell you about that, Bob.
Yeah. Why don't you know about that?
Yeah, Bob, why don't you know about that?
Okay.
He was upset with me after the movie deal went sour.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's right. He wouldn't have told you.
You remember all that.
You remember that deal when the Boucher wouldn't let me hire him on?
Helen Smith.
I remember.
Helen Smith launches herself into this situation.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 41, a short, slender woman in her mid-30s. But she's actually 41. She looks younger. Her
Looks to be it.
Yeah, her dark eyes are alert and perceptive, and she projects an air of quiet concentration when she purses her lip and furrows her brow, which she does quite often. So she's approaching you, and she's approaching you, Philip, and says, "So, Tony, how's the science fiction business?"
Going really well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it should
Yeah.
be. Should be.
Swimmingly, I'd say.
Did you ever hear from our old friend Vance Wimple? And
Did we?
Vance. Now, there's flashback opportunity here.
Ooh, I love flashbacks.
Flashbacks.
Vance Winhole.
Vance Wimple. Phil, let's see what you got, and then I'll get to you, Boucher.
what you got.
Phil, do you have... Okay, what have you got? Art history? No. Oral history.
Yes.
Oral history. All right, here we go.
Do I need to do a spend for that?
1 point spend.
I'll do it. All right.
All right. You attend a psychohistorical foundation lecture at Berkeley, given by Wimpole, on a West Coast tour last year.
Last year, okay.
The audience is mainly made up of awkward-looking college-age boys.
Like Phil.
Yes, he's there too. Wimpole takes the stage and gives a long, rambling speech about the power of the immaterial soul to conquer the material world, the mind to master the body, and the will to direct the flesh. 3 men come on stage.
Oh.
A young man with broad shoulders, a thin type in his 30s, and a stolid, middle-aged fellow with a jolly scowl. They demonstrate the powers of psychohistory.
Whoa.
The first man, who is a young man with broad shoulders, easily lifts a large steamer trunk that 2 audience members could barely budge and holds it over his head,
Whoa.
although with some strain. The second skinny guy balances himself in a handstand atop a folding chair and then acrobatically dismounts. The third, jolly guy, stands immobile while the first picks up a 2x4 and strikes him from behind across his shoulders with it. The 2x4 breaks and the third man isn't even phased. Feats of strength!
Incredible.
Wimpole invites a volunteer to come forward to be psychohistorically assessed on stage.
Ooh.
That's all you remember about him.
Okay. And what was the topic of this talk? I mean, not the topic. Sorry. Where was this talk?
This was in Berkeley.
Okay. Oh, just at U of B.
Yep.
All right.
He's giving a lecture. Okay, and you, Tony Boucher, have, I know you have Cop Talk.
I have. Let's see. What talk?
Cop. I'll just give you.
Yeah.
I'll just give you.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got that. Thank you.
You remember a scene in which an angry Wimpole met you on the street, seemingly by chance.
Oh, okay.
All right. In San Francisco, near the close of the war, he angrily confronted you over the character of L. Ron Hubbard in your 1942 mystery novel, Rocket to the Morgue.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the murderer? He's obviously based on me. Any fool with eyes could see it, and you've made me look like a nincompoop. He will go on and on about how the Navy brass regard this as a stain upon my spotless record. I will sue you for libel and defamation of character.
Oh.
And you happen to know, Boucher, that Wimpole's wartime Navy records show that he was twice relieved of command for overconfidence, poor judgment, and grandiose overestimation of his own abilities and importance. Most notably, the time when, commanding anti-submarine patrol boat, he fired on an island owned by Mexico in the waters south of San Diego, causing a minor diplomatic incident between the U.S. and its neighbor. He ended the war as a minor functionary in the intelligence section, performing duties as a military censor.
Oh, wow.
Now, was he using that pen name, or did Tony create that name?
Tony created that name.
You're kidding. That's hilarious.
Ooh.
Interesting.
It is, isn't it?
That Wimple.
Okay, so we've got
And so she asked us if we've heard anything of him or from him.
from him. Yeah, have you heard anything from him? I'm gonna find the woman here. Where is she?
In terms of like your writing
Yeah.
or your interactions with him? Or?
Right.
How was Helen?
Let's see.
So no, you haven't. You haven't. You would
We
know.
have not.
But I seem to have. Hold on a minute. I'm out of order here.
Still a lot.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Can't say as I have.
No. Well, and then she's going to implore you now. Please, tomorrow, please come to my home at 2140 Beechwood Avenue in North Hollywood. We can talk about a matter of extreme importance. Or, show up whenever you can. It'll be no trouble. I keep odd hours.
Sure. Be happy to.
Yeah, I'd love to. Should I bring anything? Bottle of wine?
That would be lovely.
Okay.
And this is Jack's ex-wife.
This is Jack's ex-wife, Helen Smith.
And she has a child.
She has a child, Quinn Smith, who's 9 years old. He's a solemn boy with short dark hair and his mother's finely sculpted features. He's shy and a little scared.
Okay.
Is it his first wife?
Yes, this is his first wife.
Is that Jack's kid?
Unknown.
That's a good question. Unknown. It's an alien baby.
It's a banshee baby.
To be fair.
Does anyone have any oral history?
I just spent my last
No,
point.
I have none.
Oral history, would that
You
be
have a
under
point of
general?
oral history?
Interpersonal.
Interpersonal.
Nope, I don't.
Unless it's a 0 point spend.
0 point spend is fine. I'll take a 0 point.
Oh.
Okay.
Then in that case, I do.
All right. Helen, you happen to notice another woman there. She's blonde and much younger. And Helen introduces you. This is my sister.
Oh.
And then she has nothing more to say about her.
Oh.
Okay. and
Hello.
yes. Hello.
Enchanté.
It's my adopted daughter.
Yeah.
Martha.
That's all I could say right now. That's all I
Okay.
could say right now.
Is she attractive? I mean,
Yes, she's very attractive.
All right.
She's very attractive.
Phil.
Yeah.
Sick.
Well,
What am I feeling on that?
yes, I'll definitely
Yes, we'll meet on that.
make some small talk with her.
Okay.
Did you know Jack very well? Etc.
Oh dear. Small talk became a sudden loaded question.
Okay. Everybody, give me a sense trouble. Difficulty 4.
Okay. So those are under general abilities. You can
Right.
spend points there to give yourself a +1 for every point that you spend,
Hmm.
or you can just leave it
I'm
up to
not.
the dice.
So difficulty 4 means you get a 4 on the die.
4
Yeah.
better.
Yep.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1 as well.
3.
You.
Man.
Oh gosh.
Nice.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, you win, but who rolled you?
A 2.
You rolled a 1.
I rolled a
Oh,
one.
poor you. Well, you guys both. Okay.
Yeah.
Omar Garrison. Omar Garrison corners you both
I know.
next to the ashtray in the corner by the chair. You're
Okay.
pinned, okay?
All right.
He's a Los Angeles Times reporter.
Oh.
Oh, yes. What do you know about Jack's unusual religious or political activities?
Nothing whatever.
Witch hunt.
Does he have a press badge in his hat?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
He's got a little notebook he's writing into. He's wearing a cheap suit. He's wiry.
I know nothing, but I do know that you're being very disrespectful right now.
Ooh. Straight up.
Yeah.
Did Parsons have any enemies that you know of? He didn't care.
Should we go somewhere else?
Yes, dear.
All right, walk away.
Were you aware that Parsons identified himself with the Antichrist?
Wow.
As we're walking away, I will roll my eyes.
Yeah, it's just like,
What's Helen's wife's sister's name? Sorry?
the blonde,
Betty.
Betty.
of course.
I'll turn to Betty. This is the second most awkward wake I've ever attended.
Did she find that amusing?
Does she?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, she does. But she's very nervous. And she
Yeah.
doesn't speak.
Trying to set her at ease. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to
Antichrist.
approach after the conversations about the Antichrist and the cult. I'd like to approach Jane Wolfe. Since she
Yes.
was in the since she was also in the movie business for a little bit.
She is 77 years old, frail seeming but still fierce, a hawk-like old woman, still striking in appearance and demeanor.
Ooh. Clothing props.
All of a sudden there's
Nice.
all of a sudden there's something on your head. Okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
Madam Wolfe. I don't believe we've met. I'm
Enchanté. Enchanté.
Robert Heinlein. This is my wife Ginny.
hello.
Oh, hello. I'm Jane Wolfe. What a pleasure.
Nice to meet you,
What a pleasure.
Yes. How did you know Jack?
Well, of course we lived together for a while.
Oh.
No, we all lived together in this house, this beautiful, beautiful house. We were members of the same order, the Phillip order.
Yes.
He was a great poet, you know.
Oh, was he? I didn't know that.
Beautiful, beautiful man.
Mm. Yes, it's a shame. I didn't know he was a poet. Did you, Bob?
I didn't. He never shared any of his poetry with me, just his technical drawings.
Well, you know, I came to Hollywood when I was young, and I could have been a star.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it all up for Aleister Crowley, the magician. We were in Sicily together for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I was his scarlet woman. I was his muse, his elemental. The priest needs the priestess. The magician must have his familiar.
So what did you all do in this house when you lived together? Not for polite company?
Magical workings, beautiful magical workings. In the backyard.
Oh.
The living room.
Where was this house located?
And when was this?
In Pasadena.
Oh, in Pasadena.
I see.
Orange Avenue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it. Yeah,
You know, I
when
was in
this?
a film with Mary Pickford.
Were you?
I was in Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm.
Oh, I think I remember seeing that movie.
Oh yes, I gave it all up for Crowley. I gave it all up, and then Mussolini kicked us out of Italy,
Of course.
and now I'm here.
Well, he would.
Yeah, that's true. You like to think that.
To kick people out.
That was his favorite thing.
I saw a great deal of potential in Jack.
Yes, we all did. I
When he and Helen started coming to the meetings of the Agape Lodge in the late 30s, a great deal of potential indeed. But so young, so dream-ridden. Even after he had been named leader by Aleister, he had no patience for it. Certainly he was no match for Wilfred Smith. It took Crowley himself managing things long distance from London to drive Smith away. Oh, Wilfred Smith was the leader of the Agape Lodge until Jack was installed by Crowley.
Was he angry to be usurped in a way?
Probably. I would have been. Yes.
You would have been.
I would have been.
Yes.
Well, you know, when Vance Wimpole showed up, that was the beginning of the end for Jack.
Who is that?
Vance Wimpole is the husband of Betty Smith.
Oh. That woman over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vance encouraged Jack's more metaphysical speculations. Jack thought he had found in Vance a kindred spirit, as perhaps he had, though not quite as he might have thought. It turned out that Vance had started sleeping with Jack's girl, Betty.
Oh.
She was Jack's ex-wife's sister.
Right, okay.
It was delightfully incestuous. This was all happening at the same time he and Jack were engaged in the Babylon working. It was a magical working. Jack was torn. He felt jealous and betrayed, just like when Helen left him for Wilfred.
Oh.
Yeah! No kidding. Get out your flowcharts, folks.
Yeah, so Jack to Helen to Wilfred.
Everybody's sleeping with everybody all the time.
Wow.
Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Watch out.
Jack to
Right.
Betty to Vance.
Jack
And
needed
there's-
Vance as his magical scribe. He thought, and the Agape Lodge was supposed to be a haven for free love. So he had no right to be jealous,
It's true.
especially after he'd made peace with Wilfred over Helen. Yeah, with Wilfred over Helen.
So you're mentioning Helen and Betty. Did Marjorie ever fit into this sort of thing?
Oh, yes, of course. She was key to the whole proceedings.
Oh.
Key.
How so?
Well, some say she was called up through a magical working. Some say that she was Jack's Scarlet Flame. Scarlet's Red Woman.
As you were to...
Indeed, exactly. Every priest must have his priestess.
Wow.
And then, at this point...
Sorry, I've got every rose has its thorn stuck in it.
Yes. That's right. At this point...
I love architecture for hours. Bring her back.
Let's see you tomorrow.
Yeah, no, she has plenty more to tell you, but not right at this moment.
Yeah.
At this moment, Marjorie Cameron, a striking redhead with skin like cream, pale blue eyes, haunted.
Hmm.
She's wearing all black.
Yeah.
Okay. She's holding a thin typescript, and she calls for everyone's attention, saying, I'd like to read one of Jack's poems.
Oh.
Wow.
This is one he dedicated to me. And then she reads this in a faltering voice.
Oh, man.
I remember when I was a star in the night, a moving, burning ember amid the bright clouds of starfire, going deathward to the womb. There is more, but she cannot continue. Her arms fall to her sides, her fists are balled. She bows her head in grief, face collapsing into artless grief.
Oh, gee.
Her brother Robert puts his arms around her shoulders. Helen Smith goes to comfort her. Cameron angrily and tearfully rebuffs her. Get away from me. You wouldn't help him. You didn't believe in his work. You didn't believe in him. And now Marjorie has to excuse herself, goes to the restroom to compose herself, and then Jane Wolfe takes the podium
Yes! Oh my god! Yes!
and recites the rest of the poem from memory.
Oh.
And I dreamed of the great powers moving over me, and a voice cried, "Go free, star, go free. See the dark home on the wild sky. Goodbye, star, goodbye. Goodbye, Jack. You were in such a great rush to leave us." Anybody got assessed honesty?
Oh,
Wow.
I do.
shit.
Assessed honesty suggests that Wolf is grandstanding.
Yeah.
Her theatricality marks her as glib and insincere and hungry for attention.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
Okey-doke.
All right, so Cameron returns. Marjorie Cameron returns. Calmer. She's still restless. She's still looking around the room,
Right.
changing position, but she's better.
Okay.
She's sitting. Okay.
Okay.
Pharmacy. You got pharmacy?
I don't have pharmacy, but
I think
Phil
I did.
does.
Yep,
Phil?
I got it.
Yeah, she is under the influence of a hallucinogenic of some kind.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe LSD, maybe mescaline. We don't know.
indeed.
Let's see, who else is here? We've got Jane Wolfe, who did that. Omar Garrison. Still more for Jane Wolfe. Anybody has... Got that, we got that.
I mean, we were talking to Jane. I want to hear more.
Right?
So.
All right,
She
so you can
seems like
come...
she,
you can come yeah, you can come
She
back and
seems
start
like
talking
she's
to her.
Eager for an audience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wants someone to
Yeah.
speak with, that's for sure.
Yes, of course.
All right. Jane, that was a very moving reading of that poem by Jack. It was wonderful to hear his poetry.
Thank you, my dear, thank you.
Yes, the first time it was, I had heard it and it was very moving.
Yes.
Oh, it means so much to me that you're here. So many kindred spirits surrounding me. I can tell you all are kindred spirits. Yes. Won't you please come to the house tomorrow morning for a special service we're having for Jack. I know you'll love it.
Oh,
It'll be
yes.
very important.
Yes.
It's a Thelema religious. It's not like this. It'll be a real religious ceremony.
Yes. Out of character, is that the same thing that Helen
Yes.
invited us to? Okay.
It's the exact same
okay.
event.
Okay.
Just making sure we're not
Yeah.
double booking.
Nope,
Yeah.
you're not double
Yeah.
booking. This is
I
it.
thought her thing was in the evening. Oh,
No, Helen was just
okay.
like whenever.
It's an all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, she's just whenever you want to show up. We'll be
Okay.
there.
Right.
There'll be
wow.
repeats of the service every half hour.
So Omar Garrison
Oh.
comes up to
Oh, God, not
Jane
Oh.
and kind of says, hey, I got the scoop. I got the scoop on this guy. I got the scoop on Jack. She's being an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And says, did you ever see Jack perform any sort of devil worshipping ceremony or
Oh my
ritual?
God.
Did you ever hear him mention something called the Babylon working? And Jane slaps.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Smack. How very dare you?
How very indeed.
How very. So
Whoa.
Omar leaves at
Yeah,
that point.
I
Yes.
think he should.
Yeah, he's done.
I think after that, I would probably leave too.
Yeah. Exactly. So Jane, is there any? I mean,
Well,
obviously Marjorie and
Marjorie-
Helen seem very contentious. Is she going to be at this event tomorrow? I would want to see
I
a
doubt
repeat
it.
of-
I doubt that she would show up for
Okay,
that.
all right. Oh, it's a separate
Was
thing.
she invited?
Yeah, no, actually, she was
Oh.
disinvited from that event.
Disinvited.
By whom?
But it was a group. It was a group
Oh,
decision.
oh, okay.
No, it was a group decision. Yeah, Marjorie and Jack were involved in some rather flamboyant sex magic at the parsonage. Jack thought that Marjorie was a goddess, and of course, Marjorie is just a woman, not a goddess. Nothing came of their magic. There was never any moonchild produced. There was never any messenger from the outer gods. There was never any being of perfect love.
I'm quite speechless.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
They were unable
What?
to conceive.
Indeed.
Awesome.
but
Oh, and they tried and tried. They didn't leave that room for weeks.
Did Jack ever see a doctor?
There was nothing wrong with Jack.
Awesome.
Did Marjorie go to a doctor?
Perhaps in Nebraska, where she came from, she went to a doctor. Perhaps there was some talk of an abortion
Oh.
Oh,
long
so-
before she met Jack. Long before in
Oh.
the Dark Ages time period.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot to Jack that we didn't know about.
There's a lot to Jack. There's so much to Jack. You could spend a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Such a shame that he was taken from us so soon.
Yeah, it seems odd that his cause of death has left me very perplexed. Actually, I'm not sure how he would have been as irresponsible as that when he was very familiar with explosives based on an article of his that I read.
Yes, no,
And
he was a genius. He was
That's
simply
why it just seems so
a
strange.
genius with all types of explosions. He could work things out. He knew the deep alchemical process of these materials. I find it extraordinarily hard to believe that he would accidentally kill himself. I mean, it's absurd.
Yeah,
It's absurd.
it is absurd. It's leaving me wondering if that's really
He
what
was in
happened.
complete control of his surroundings. Did you know he had to go down to Miami?
Yes.
What had happened was Betty went with Vance. They took all of Jack's money, No, Jack had given it to them. Jack had given $250,000 to Vance and to Betty
That's
to
a
go.
fortune.
Yes, to go to Miami, procure some yachts, and then bring them back to L.A. to be sold. And then he discovered that Vance and Betty actually were never to return. They were never going to return. They were simply going to take the money and get a boat and leave him. So Jack flew down to Miami, got a cheap hotel room with his last $40, and did a working. He did a magical air element working that stopped them, shredded the sails of the ship. They went nowhere. And this is a man who accidentally kills him? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he knew exactly what he was doing, magic or no. And that's what's so troubling about this situation.
So did he get his money back from them?
Oh no, I'm afraid
No.
not.
Oh,
No, the money's quite gone.
I see.
Yes, he was reduced to asking other people for money after that.
Oh.
So much comes of love, does it not?
Yes. So many terrible things.
Indeed.
So would Vance have, do you think Vance would have had it out for Jack after that sort of thing? Perhaps.
Is that why he's not here?
Let's see.
I know Betty's here.
That's quite a...
Yeah, well,
Oh.
running from the law, the press, or the parents. Bob, you have a flashback of Vance. A scene from right after the war in which your then wife Leslyn is drunk and screaming mad at Wimpole.
Today.
No, Wimpole has come to stay at your house as a house guest for a few days, okay? And
Whoa.
yeah, that's a long time to be with Wimpole.
God, was this another Sagrius?
Yeah, so So Leslin is screaming at Wimpole because Wimpole has told her young nephews, who are 8 and 10, that he would take them to the Philippines to search for their father, who had been caught and executed by the Japanese during the war.
Whoa.
Yeah, and Wimpole is completely unable to understand why she would think he'd done anything wrong. Wimpole said, "I was only trying to make the kids feel better."
Oh my god.
But he did know that he wasn't wanted. "Maybe I'll go and stay with your friend Jack for a little while." So, that's what you know about Vance.
Yeah. Unsavory type.
So weird.
That's a hell of a thing to say to a kid.
That's really ridiculous.
Don't worry, kids. We'll go find your dad
Let's
in
go to the Philippines. He's still alive. We'll go
Right.
get him.
Oh my.
What else do we have? We have a Ginny. We have a Ginny flashback.
Oh,
Vance.
do we?
You want it?
Okay, yes.
You have art history, library use.
I have.
I should check this. Hang on. Sorry. I
No,
have
I'm looking at mine. I have.
Art-
I do. I have library use.
You have library use.
Yeah.
Okay, library use. After the war, Wimpole had a hard time getting back into writing and seemed to be trying every get-rich-quick scheme in the book. He and Jack then had a falling out over money, and Wimpole left the West Coast. He's left the West Coast. Then, 2 years later, he reappears in the pages of Don Stewart's flabbergasting science fiction magazine. Wimpole announced to great acclaim that he had created a new mental health science he called psychohistory. Subsequently released book of that title, with a lurid cover, became a national bestseller. Now there is a burgeoning psychohistory movement. Wimpole is himself training sessions for psychohistorian adepts at the foundations located across the country. And you remember a scene in which Wimpole, then stationed near Princeton in the Navy, came to Philadelphia for a meeting convened by you, intended to bring a bunch of science fiction writers together to develop ideas for fighting kamikazes. And pass along to Bob's old CO, Admiral King, now Chief of Naval Operations. So they want to use their fiction as a weapon. It's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
When you, Ginny, then Lieutenant Gerstenberger, are detailed to give Wimpole a tour of the facilities where they produce things like plexiglass, inflatable life rafts, plastic-based material, very exciting stuff. Lieutenant Commander Wimpole makes a pass at you.
Oh,
Whoa.
God.
He grabs your ass.
No.
"Say, what are you doing later, Lieutenant?" he says. "How about I buy you dinner?" He will brag about his military exploits hunting subs in the Atlantic and mention that he has applied for intelligence duty on the West Coast.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. All right, so it's breaking up now. Everything's breaking up. The widow, Marjorie Cameron, asks you. Hold on a minute. Let me get to the right spot. Okay. Everybody, give me a roll. Whoever rolls highest wins.
6.
Oh, you win.
You win, Bob.
Yep.
You notice that Forey Ackerman slips out the door.
I wonder what happened to him.
Let's
Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice that he's talking on a payphone in the lobby. Returning 10 minutes later.
Friends.
see. Yeah. Are people who actually wanted to talk to him?
Yeah, that's strange.
How curious. So Ackerman's talking to someone on a payphone.
Talking to someone on a payphone during the service.
I'll let Ginny know.
Do you have intimidation or bargaining?
Under interpersonal?
Yeah, anything?
Neither.
Okay. Okay, well, you're still watching him, and you see him in the breezeway. He stops and looks out into the parking lot as if he's noticed something, and then he ducks comically behind one of the narrow pillars that holds it up and peers out again as if scouting the scene. Following his gaze, you spot a dark, nondescript sedan in which sit two men in suits and dark glasses. One is reading a newspaper, and the other is drinking coffee from a paper cup. He comes, he sees you, he runs over to you and says,
Oh.
"Oh, the feds are watching the funeral! The feds are watching the funeral!"
This is during the service.
We're just after.
Oh, just
Yeah.
after.
We're just
Okay.
towards
Yeah, everyone's
towards after the
singing.
poetry.
Right.
Okay. The poetry
After
reading.
poetry. Okay.
Yes. Oh, so how do you know those were the feds?
Well, just look at him. Look at him.
I don't know.
Who just sits in a sedan? They're just sitting there drinking a cup of coffee.
Well,
It's the feds, man, I tell you.
Could be local police.
yeah.
I don't
They're
think
probably wanting to
so.
see. Well, why would it be federal? I mean, is this
Because
case-
Jack was under investigation.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, he was.
I forgot.
That was why I couldn't bring him onto the set.
That's right.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, then that makes sense that they would be here. But I mean, why are you so frantic?
Well, because he's Ackerman now.
Yeah. What are you so
Ackerman,
frantic?
do you have something that you don't want the feds to find out?
Yeah, about you.
Are you hiding something?
No. No.
Do you? I mean, wait. So what are we gonna do after this?
Well,
wake, everybody?
it's just about to.
Yeah.
You're just about to get railroaded to another location.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
So chill out.
Conversations.
You're thinking you're going to go for a piece of pie.
Yeah.
No.
No. Oh, apparently not. Well, I just wanted to know if he was okay to drive home. If he's feeling anxious, like someone's gonna start following him, or.
Don't worry about me. Worry about you. Somebody's going to follow you. Somebody's going to follow all of us
Used to
now.
that.
We're all here.
This point.
We're all going to be followed.
Oh my god.
I highly.
I got to go make a phone call.
You were just on the phone.
I got to make another phone call. You saw me at the phone?
Yes, we saw you on the phone, and Bob said you were ducking and trying to.
I must say, if you are
I-
trying
I-
to avoid the notice of federal officers, you probably shouldn't act so spastic.
I'm trying. I've called for my psychohistorical intervention. I'm going to get the psychohistorical treatment and I'm going to be okay. You'll see. You'll see.
When are you getting that
Oh
done?
dear.
Psychohistory?
Yeah.
Oh, right now. I'm going to go.
You're going right now for that.
Going right now.
Can we go with you?
No.
What? Is it a personal thing? I don't know what this is.
It
It's all
sounds-
new to me.
Is
Is
Vance
it
going with
personal?
No, I think Vance will be
No,
there.
Vance is
is-
conducting it?
No.
Is Vance
He's not in the LA area.
Oh, he isn't?
No.
Oh, is he hiding?
That's right. That's right.
Sounds like him.
So at that point, now, part B,
Uh-huh.
tonight's adventure. Grieving widow Marjorie Cameron
Oh, man.
Oh, yes.
staggers out.
Oh, God.
She is grabbing at her left thigh. She pulls a flask from her garters, takes a sip, and says,
Oh.
regular rocket fuel. And she laughs.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
She still looks like she's under the influence.
Oh, yes. Oh, indeed. She says,
I'll
Yes?
head over to study her.
well, she sees you.
Uh-huh.
She lays on you. He's gone, and I don't know what to do.
I know.
You need to drive me out to the desert. You need to drive me out to the desert to spread Jack's ashes.
That's fine.
All right, so she grabs his urn. She's hoping she's grabbing the right urn here now.
Uh-oh.
Should we make sure?
Yes, please make sure.
Yes, look at the little
Dotted line
placard.
from my eye
Yeah.
to the urn.
Make sure the urn is the right one. She grabs the urn. I'm going to need all of you. I'm going to need out of game. As it's written, some things are supposed to be happening concurrently.
Okay.
And I'm just not good enough to do that. So we're doing everything together
Okay,
like this,
that's fine.
rather than letting it all go, because that's
No
just
worries.
That
nutty.
works.
That's the
That
conceit.
works.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off we go. Okay.
Alright, so I
My
guess-
Studebaker's just right out here.
Oh no. We're gonna take my car.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Madam, you shouldn't be driving.
No,
No,
I shouldn't be driving, and I will not be driving.
I've got the highest
Have
driving,
Phil
so I'll
drive.
take the keys.
All right.
It's a regular motorhead.
It is still light. It is still light.
As we're walking, I'll tip Tony off that she's on some wacko pills of some
I
sort.
sort of.
Yeah.
You kind of knew
Keep an eye
that.
on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep her away from the doors.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have her sit in the room.
Non-delusional.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm leading you to a light blue 1948 Chevy convertible with a trailer hitch.
A trailer
Oh, there's a
hitch.
trailer.
There was the trailer. Trip never
Are you
happened.
going on a trip after this?
Oh my god, why would you do that?
I'm being nice.
Do you know what his last words were? I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Oh, Jack, we were going to go to Mexico after we were going to go to Mexico. I found the perfect place, a little city on the Gulf of Mexico named Catemaco. It's wonderful.
That does sound wonderful.
There's an artist colony on the edge of town, and every year the town holds a Fiesta de Brujas with folk healers and fortune tellers and all sorts of wonderful things. I've even sold some of my paintings there. Now I don't know what I'll do. So she gives you the keys.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rabbit's foot keychain that has the keys to her apartment, her laundry room, mother-in-law's apartment, the car.
Make some copies
The
of those keys.
trailer,
Yeah.
presumably?
I
Yep.
just need to swing by this hardware store on the way to town.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we're going to bury his ashes, we need a shovel.
We do.
We're going to scatter them.
Oh,
We're going to scatter them.
Going to
So,
the desert?
yes, please. Yes, take me to
Obviously, we
the...
need one of those insecticide pump sprayers.
Yes, of course. To get over the widest area possible.
It's more respectful that way.
He would have wanted it, though.
Mhm. Yeah, it's more respectful that way. Yes.
Some
Yes.
face masks so that we don't breathe him in.
Yeah.
Oh,
fake
God.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
Needs to be
scattered
part of
down
the
the
land.
So she's nervous and edgy and on the verge of utter exhaustion while still being stoned as you guys are driving out to the desert.
Does she nod off?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
No.
She is
The
constantly
opposite of nodding
reaching.
off.
She is reaching for her left flank where she has this tibble.
Jet fuel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Who has evidence collection? Evidence. Let me see.
Oh, I do. I have a point.
You do.
I do.
I do as well.
I know.
You do. Oh, wonderful. Well, the both of you notice
Mm.
there's a scrap of paper on the dashboard that looks like a parking pass
Oh.
or something.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I'll, Yes, I'll sort of nonchalantly,
Take the
Take a
pass
look at it.
and look at it. It's
Yeah.
for the Santa Monica Pier.
okay.
Okay. Ginny, you notice there's a picnic basket in the back seat, and who's sitting in the front seat with her? There's three across.
Yeah, sure. It's bench seat.
Is it you?
I'd like to, yeah.
Yeah, you're opening the glove box.
Yes.
There's a camera in there.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Damn.
Okay.
All right, so we've got a camera.
I'll take it out. I'll look and see
Parking
how
pass
many...
for the Santa Monica Pier, and then a picnic basket in the back.
Right. Those are all
how many
avenues.
photos were taken.
There are 21 shots remaining
Okay. Out of
25.
25.
24. 24.
Okay, so
24.
a few
Yeah.
So there's
It's
one.
been so long since I've shot a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. So she's a camera and she's taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Picnic basket.
Picnic
Is
basket.
it full?
It is.
Oh.
Hmm.
So she was intending on going out and doing this.
Would you like to open the picnic basket and have a look in there? You're in the back seat. You can
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
fumble around.
I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah. Well, it holds 3 wine glasses. 3 wine glasses.
Pretty standard.
A bottle of wine.
Okay.
A bottle opener. A cheese knife. Some old-looking grapes. Stale crackers. And a block of hardened cheese.
It's all old.
Yes, as well as a half-empty pack of cigarettes and a book of matches. She sees you. She says, "Oh, we were going to have a picnic once we got on the road."
Right. So I'm gonna tell Bob. It's all old food. It's all old.
Does it look like just a couple days old?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
it's a couple days old. It's not totally
Like
shriveled.
the grapes,
It's just
the grapes. The grapes haven't turned to raisins.
no,
yet.
they're not raisins.
Haven't turned to roses.
Le grappe.
The craps? What?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, that's
That's what
still
we're gonna
kind
read it
of
now.
weird that it would be.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Still in the car.
Yeah.
Well, she's distraught.
Mm-hmm.
Well, would she have forgotten that she? I guess so.
Well, is the cheese smelling?
No, it's just hard. And
Well, if it doesn't smell, then you might forget that it's there.
I guess so. Just anyway, she's addled,
Of
obviously.
course.
All right.
Indeed,
Okay.
she is constantly
Uh-huh.
sitting.
Oral history.
Yes. Got it.
All right. She's taking a liking to you,
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
Well.
so she divulges this.
Oh.
Jack was the white magician.
Oh.
Vance was the black. You see?
Oh.
2 forms of witchcraft in contention. One dedicated to the bright goddess Siobnogorach, and the other to the dark god of chaos, Azathoth. Babylon against Horus, Lovecraft versus Hatecraft versus Fearcraft. And chaos was winning. The Moonchild wouldn't come, even though we tried and tried. But then Jack figured out why. It was the space mead that helped him.
Space mead.
Space mead. That's right.
Oh,
What?
Space mead.
Like the drink?
The drink.
Ah. Just making sure.
The magicians of Catemaco taught us the secret in Mexico.
I had a feeling.
Yes. And then Jack saw. He saw how the temple of Azathow could be brought low, and Azathow himself chained, so that the star of the Moonchild might shine forth.
ah.
Yeah. That's really great. Yeah. Makes total sense.
Were you a manifestation of the White Goddess?
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
What are you guys talking about up there?
We're only catching bits of it.
Yeah, exactly.
What? I can't hear anything. Close the wind vents.
The top is down.
Yeah.
Is that whistling? I'm hearing whistling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is the top down or up?
That's got to be up.
Yeah,
It's got to be up. Come on.
Oh my god.
So
Still not the quietest, right?
no.
Yeah.
Jack would have said that every woman was the goddess,
I see.
from the humblest, oldest washerwoman to the princess, and he would have slept with them all if he could have. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Who's got the Tony? You've got theology. You understand what she's talking about on some level.
Okay.
She's describing Manichean
Yeah.
cosmology of two equal but opposing deities, with the Moonchild as the messianic mediator between them.
Oh, you're Catholic.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Tony knows about Catholicism.
Yes. So you kind of get it. It's not so
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. It's not so crazy.
Yeah, it's not like totally out of the realm.
No, it's not ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so Marjorie says, I know what we'll do.
What's that, my dear?
We'll ask Jack.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh boy,
so
here
Jack's
we
dead.
Say
Same, yeah.
Well, if I can get an investigator here, one of you wonderful people, to serve as a magician for the ritual, and then someone can be the familiar, or I will be the familiar. It does not matter. We will contact Jack out in the desert.
If you got some of that Mexican
space meat.
Yowza powder,
Yowza powder.
I'll help you out.
We're going to need. Ideally, we would need someone. The priest and the priestess have to have had carnal knowledge of each other.
Oh.
I'll help you out.
What are you
No, what does she need? She needs.
I need a priest and a priestess.
Right.
They do not have to be male and female. That's never specified.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh.
the priest and the priestess. I know, isn't it interesting? It's true. The priest and the priestess have to have had carnal knowledge of each other.
Is that the only qualifications for
Yes,
me?
that is the entire and only qualification.
Well,
We got these two.
Yeah.
What? What did you say? What's going on
I'm not
there?
comfortable with where this line of talk is going.
No? All right then.
Well, no, I mean, I know.
All right, then, I
No,
will
well,
be-
we can't really hear very well back here.
All I'm really hearing is carnal knowledge. And
Yeah.
Well, this is sex magic.
I see.
And we are now out amongst the big hoodoos.
What do you say, guys?
What would this ritual involve?
Yeah.
Oh, the ritual itself doesn't
Priesthood.
involve any sex itself. No, the ritual itself does not involve sex.
I see.
It is simply a question of a source of power for the ritual. That is all.
Well, listen. She's obviously distraught. If this would help her feel better, then maybe we should just do whatever she's wanting to do. I don't believe in any of it.
Likewise, but
So, I mean, maybe it'll help her feel better.
you have a good heart. That's
Okay, sure, we'll do it.
Okay, so now, geology. Let me look.
geology.
I actually have one.
You do have geology. Oh, you do. All right. Well, you notice that you are now among hoodoos. These are wind-formed structures created when erosion sculpts the softer stone sandwiched between layers of harder rock. You are surrounded in this canyon of hoodoos. All right. We are in the Mojave Desert.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone give me a sense trouble difficulty 4.
Alright, I'm gonna spend.
Yeah, me too. Spend a point.
We passed.
Got it.
You were followed
I
out
got
here.
it too.
You were followed out here by a car.
Is it
black
the,
sedan,
is it
yeah.
the sedan?
Not to alarm anyone, but a black sedan's been following us for the last 5 hours.
No,
Yeah.
it's not a black sedan.
Oh,
Is it Omar?
Ackerman's car?
Is it the LA Times reporter?
Yeah.
You don't know yet.
Okay.
You
So
don't
you
know who. You
notice
notice
far-
that there's
far enough back.
there's a car. There's no other car.
Phil, slow down.
And it is a
little.
car. Like
It is a car.
Okay.
alright. I'll start slowing down a little bit. See what they want to do.
See if they pull up.
Mm-hmm.
Pull a little closer.
Give me a
Full
drive.
passes.
Give me a drive.
Sure. I'll spend a point.
Okay. Yes. Given that.
No.
No?
I failed my drive.
All right.
Oh.
You're not used to this car.
No, that's fine. So you don't
You're
know
not
who it
used to
is,
brake pedal.
and you don't see anyone behind you.
Mm.
And okay. So you're because you know what? It's the hoodoos,
Very
and it's
nice.
really hard to see. There's dust. There's crud.
Yeah, it's
there's all
weird.
kinds of crazy turns and
What's
rocks.
the time of day, by the way?
It's getting onto the evening time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
it's
it's drifting into a dusk.
yeah. There's no street lights or.
Oh God, no!
Are
We're out in the
they
middle
allowed
of
to perform
nowhere.
the ceremony?
Yeah, I know.
We're going to have a goofy ceremony.
Okay.
There's no one around.
All right.
Do we need a full moon for this?
No. Okay, but it is coming near the what do they call it? That's not the equinox. It's the other thing. Solstice.
Ah.
Okay.
It is.
So you're parking at the base of some
Nice
rocks, and from the trunk of the car, she removes a fencing foil and a flashlight. She pulls the picnic basket out of the back seat and puts Jack's urn into it. Follow me, everybody! She's leading you up. She's excited because she's going to get to talk to Jack.
If I may ask Marjorie, what is the foil for?
Yes, I will tell you all about that in a moment.
I see.
All right.
This is going to be Neo-Enochian magic, and it is a symbol. We're going to use it. It will be the Adornless Blade, an instrument of magic. All right, so up we're going into the hoodoos, Box Canyon, with tall stone spires shaped vaguely like totem poles. She's explaining the basics of Neo-Enochian magic, which, you know, it's a Crowley's gloss on the work of Dr. John Dee and Edward Kelly's work, who worked from the Book of Enoch. It replaces complex tables with simpler formula derived from ancient mystery traditions. And any reasonable instance of an instrument will allow the magic to proceed. So instead of using a fiery brand, we're going to use a lit cigarette. And that's going to be fine.
Oh, how much further?
And then the picnic basket.
We're here.
Oh, all right.
And we're here.
And we're there.
The unadorned blade.
The unadorned blade, and you've got your lit thing.
The lit cigarette.
Lit cigarette, okay. All right, here we go.
Is there something else that we need to substitute?
We will have the Brimful Chalice, which Marjorie will prepare from the
The wine glasses.
wine, and yeah, we'll be good on that.
Okay.
We'll be good on that. You will be the priest, Bob, and you are the priestess, Ginny.
Well,
I'll try to
as
suppress my laughter.
Madam Wolf told us, every priest needs his priestess.
Yes.
It's true.
And she will invite you to take a sip of space mead from her flask. Will you take a sip of the space mead?
Oh my! I usually don't endorse.
Just the priest and priestess, or everyone?
Just the priest and priestess.
Okay, I'll show you.
Okay.
If,
Alright. Yeah, alright.
if you lose touch with reality, I'll make sure you
It
get
is.
Alright, thank you. Thanks, Tony.
All right, this
Yeah.
formula. Are you taking it, Bob?
Yeah. I'll take
This
it.
good, very sporting, very adventurous of you.
Well, it is.
An adventure.
It went after a wake.
Why not?
The formula that you're drinking was concocted by Parsons before his death, and it is poisonous. It is poisonous. You're gonna.
So it's all alcohol.
You're gonna.
so-
That's right. That's why it makes it good. You need a health test versus difficulty 4.
Health test.
Alright, I'm
Versus
gonna
difficulty
use,
4.
I'm gonna use 2 health.
Likewise.
Okay.
2 health. Huh?
I make it.
Good.
I also make it.
You make it. Oh,
I
terrific.
Didn't even need to spend.
All right. You're going to be slightly more vulnerable to stability tests now because you are
Right, a
a little impaired.
Alright.
But you can shake off the poisonous part.
Very interesting swill, that.
She gives you the fencing foil and the lit cigarette.
Ah, yeah.
Okay? Now, you speak the words of the priest.
The words of the priest.
Oh.
Yes.
Do I say it now?
Say it!
I say, okay. I am the flame that burns in the heart of every man. I am the flame that burns in the core of every star. I am life and the giver of life. And so I am the knowledge of death. I am alone. There is no God where I am.
And then, you
Oh.
take off all your clothes.
Oh!
Whoa.
I have just.
You do. You just do it.
Okay.
Because the space needs got you.
Oh shit!
I thought you said there would be no.
There is no. This is it. This is it.
Nakedness.
Simply nakedness, all right? Don't panic.
my God.
Nobody middle class panic.
No.
I'll calmly light a cigarette.
No,
Like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
all right.
This beats I Love Lucy. Because remember, there's nothing else to
No,
do.
there's something else to do. All right,
Speak the words of the priestess.
Words of the priestess. So Marjorie tells me to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm coaching you.
Okay. To love me is better than all things. If under the night stars in the desert, thou
Sorry.
burnest thy incense, then I shall be with thee. Come before me with pure heart and the serpent flame burning within. Come unto me. Wear to me jewels. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Drink to me, for I love you.
And then Marjorie says, love is the law, love under will. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The priest puts aside his implements, the priest and the priestess embrace.
Oh, okay.
They feel a striking energy pass between them. Both make a stability test at difficulty 5.
And because we drank the space mead.
We have...
It's at difficulty 5.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Just in general. Okay,
Stability.
I'm gonna try.
Stability!
Alright.
Because damn it, this
Oh, I
crazy
make
shit's
it.
working.
Yes,
Let's
Nice.
see if
Yeah.
I
I make it.
Okay?
Let's see if I do.
Yeah.
I do not.
Oh,
You lose 3 points of stability.
Oh.
Ow.
I should have spent.
And now, to call Jack. Marjorie opens the urn with his ashes, takes out a handful, and casts them upon the head of the magician. Oh, breathe deep, my
I'm
son!
not the magician, I'm the priest.
Whatever, same difference.
Are you okay?
I just got a little bit of Jack in me.
Everyone does, my dear. Now,
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
um,
I'm just patting on the back.
and now we have a magical key, which is passed around for everyone to look at. It's a magical key called Mor's Obit, which means death is dead in Latin.
Okay.
The remainder of the key doesn't quite make sense. It means something like the porch is built or I straighten the walkway.
Yeah.
It's you, as you read it, Bob, you feel bizarre, half-glimpse figures right on the edge of your vision constantly.
Oh.
It's very annoying.
Oh.
Okay.
You alright?
I'm just gonna write about this later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I put my
Exactly.
clothes back on, or?
This is,
Sure.
Maybe a bit chilly out
Can
here.
I,
Yeah.
Yes.
may I have a sip of that wine, too?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'll have
Yes.
some more too.
Some more of that actual. Let's
Yeah.
do the
The wine, not
the wine, not the
Oh.
space mead.
Not the
Right.
mead.
The Brimful Chalice is the next thing that has to be prepared. We're going to do that. You have your wine. You have your wine.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. You drink from that. Let's see. Give me a roll you want to do 4 or better
On what?
on. It doesn't actually say, so I'm going to
Maybe
say occult.
Article.
You don't have occult.
Occult.
Well, let's see. What's an active? What have you got that's a general ability?
Piloting?
No.
Maybe just a straight roll for bed.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, so I have no.
Yeah, so.
Oh,
Did I just drop that?
it's the mead.
It's the mead.
Oh, so the mead went right to your head.
Space mead.
Space mead. There you go.
Alright. Let's try this again.
Okay.
I get a 4.
All right, you made it.
Yay.
Yes. And that means you get possessed by the spirit of Jack Parsons.
I do have a little bit of
Everybody.
Everyone looks on in horror as you begin to say, and not in your own voice,
Oh my god.
"It is cold, cold beyond the stars. They seeped down long ago. Long ago they came from the stars. The scribe knows them. He speaks for them now since he was corrupted in the Babylon working. Oh, Babylon, remember what he said to me? Here in this place it was, this very place. Babylon feeds on the death of men. She shall absorb thee, and thou shalt become living flame before she incarnates. Now his soul burns with the fire of their demon sultan, and the beating of his heart sounds their cry, Tekeli Lai, Tekeli Lai. Oh, he is a foulness. He has found the painting that you set down and gave to the witch in Mexico. He is learning things from it. He has brought his sword into the harbor. He has brought his sword into the harbor, and there he plots. He thinks to spite Azatau in my stead, that the man may rule the god, that the man may bank the fire in his heart at whim. But he knows not that the moon-child has come. She is yet hidden from him, as from me. But she is close. Ah, yes, so close. Woe, woe, if he should find her. It is dark here. I am in darkness. The fire burned me. The scribe sent the fire. Truly, he has grown strong. Truly, he has grown strong. Stability test, Bob.
Alright, I'm gonna...
Difficulty 5.
Gonna make a spend this time.
You are creeping and staggering around.
I'm sorry, Jade. I'm gonna spend 2 points of stability.
Yeah, she's gonna get the character sheet. What the fuck?
What? There's nothing to play.
Yeah.
Okay,
Left.
I'm fine.
Okay,
I
good.
didn't need
You
to spend
made it.
damage.
You're managing to fictionalize this.
Well,
Marjorie has lost her composure and is weeping helplessly, clinging to a hoodoo stone. She takes a stiff belt of space meat, a full dose,
Oh, God.
Oh.
and cries for Jack. Then, you all experience this living nightmare of being pursued through dark labyrinths by unseen and silent but inexorably approaching monsters. A series of tests at difficulty 5. Athletics or fleeing you can spend to avoid the monsters.
All right.
Alright, I'm gonna spend
Spending
1.
3 on fleeing. Give myself a success. There we go.
Oh, I failed.
so it's difficulty
You failed?
5, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I failed.
Alright,
You
I'm
pass
gonna...
out.
Okay.
So 5 or better?
Yep.
I'll spend 2 on athletics.
Okay. Oh, I made
Made it.
6.
I don't know what I would, but, you know. Oh, I don't make it.
You don't make it, you pass out, Bob.
Alright,
Are we literally physically fleeing, or is this like...
No, this is completely
in our heads.
psychological.
Alright, so I made it, yeah.
You made it?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. You both...
I have 12 points in fleeing.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you really do. Give me a sense trouble roll at difficulty 6.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna blow some points on that one. I'm gonna spend 3 points. Difficulty 6. I need a 3 or better. Got a 6.
Okay,
Alright.
good. Sense trouble
You know how
difficulty...
I feel.
Boucher, give me a sense trouble difficulty 6.
Okay. I'll also spend a couple points.
What about you? Let's see.
Didn't matter. Still didn't make it.
Lights out for you.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You have been struck on the back of the head.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh. What did I sense?
You, see someone running away to the car?
Shit.
Oh. A lady?
Nope.
A man?
Yep.
Oh, the damn car.
Yeah.
You run away to the car, and the car is speeding away, and you have all been stranded.
They stole our car?
Yep.
I'm passed out.
I'm passed out.
Yeah.
They stole our car.
They stole our car, so you're out there in the desert surrounded by a bunch of passed out people.
Well,
One of them.
I'm running down the
Yeah.
highway watching the lights
Yep.
fade.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No.
Time passes.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and find Marjorie and ask her if I can get a belt of that space meat.
Oh.
Really?
is Phil we're talking about here.
Yeah.
He's not gonna pass up an opportunity.
He's young.
Yeah.
He's young and eager.
Hold on. Hold on.
Need so many conscious pieces.
No, I think he feels left out.
Oh, I have my reasons.
Ah.
Well, let me hang on. Give me a second.
Ooh. Yeah.
I have to hold on. This is a big deal.
It is.
Yeah.
Good. Make it a big deal.
But it's a bigger deal than you're gonna want.
Oh shit.
Give me a minute. Let me think.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, just chill.
Yeah, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
There are chips to be had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can pause the recording if you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Just hit the record button again.
Okay, are we going?
We're going.
All right. Okay. So you take a tiny sip.
Tiny sip.
Okay.
Tiny sip. I need a full belt.
You see total blackness all around you. Complete and utter blackness. You don't feel like yourself. You grab Marjorie's hand. And she manages to calm you down. Roll health. Roll
Oh man.
health. You get a difficulty of 8.
Whoa, shit. So I have to spend to have any chance of succeeding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll spend 2 just to see if I can roll 6. I rolled a 1. Alright. Do I lose any further health?
You lose 2 points of health,
Okay.
and you vomit and pass out.
Okay.
It doesn't quite take.
Right.
It comes right back up on you.
Right.
Oh.
It's
Yeah, that is some rocket fuel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. How is she bolting this down?
Yeah.
she's been drinking it for years.
Drinking, yeah, I was gonna say
That's
she's
true.
developed.
You can't
Her liver
underestimate
is
that.
just,
Yeah, no, it's
Her liver, yeah.
she's a tough broad.
Throughout the years, she has developed a resistance to iocane powder.
That's exactly exactly. So as everybody's out in the just stoned out of their minds or down
Right.
or injured and just fucked up in the desert, a car comes up. It's Jane Wolfe in her green Impala. She shows up.
So cool.
Oh,
It's a big, beautiful Impala. She
Oh,
said,
nice.
"I knew Marjorie would be out here. I knew she'd be pulling her antics. As soon as I saw the urn was missing, I said, oh, for God's sake, she's raising him from the freaking dead. So here I am. Do you need a ride?
Madam Wolf,
I feel like I'm half dressed.
how fortuitous. But
Yes.
you've come along.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what she was up to when I saw you all pile into her beautiful little car.
Well, thank you for following.
Yes.
Well, I've been around a long time, and I know how these things go. I'm glad you all have your clothes on. Let's go.
That wasn't always the case.
Oh yeah,
I'm
you
just
got
unbuttoning up my sweater.
If you don't mind, I think I'm going to be sick behind that bush.
Yes. That's likely the best.
Did I? Am I conscious now, Ginny?
Well, everyone's up now,
Yeah.
so except for
Okay.
you, though.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get you some kind of help.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, you've been unconscious for more than...
Yeah. Am I bleeding? Maybe is he bleeding from the back?
A little bit.
Let's check
Concussion?
on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's do a health roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see where you're at. See how many points you lost through the striking.
Okay.
You want to spend any
The
points
strike
on
Yeah.
of Tony
Someone-
Boucher.
So it's like 4 better.
default
To
4?
see if
Yep. You always want to be 4, unless it's something horrible like
Unless- like
Dick
it.
drinking space mead.
Yo.
Oh, I made it with the point that I spent.
All right. So it's superficial.
Okay.
It looks terrible, but it's really not.
Yeah, and it's giving me a
Tony, are you
darn
okay?
A wicked headache.
awful headache.
Are
Yeah.
you alright?
What happened?
I don't know. The last thing I
You must-
remember.
Did you do this?
I'm just gonna trail off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll explain what I saw.
And where's our car?
It was stolen. Remember the car that was following
Yeah.
us?
Hmm.
Well,
That must
Well,
have
why
been
would they have stolen our car if they had a car already?
I'm assuming there was a second guy.
Mm-hmm.
No. Jane followed us, obviously, and then someone stole our car. Someone was lurking in the desert.
That seems unlikely.
What do you know?
Anyway, as the bickering continues,
Oh, please, let's just get in the car.
yeah,
Alright, so I'm gonna
And
labor all
she's taking you back to the Aztec Motel.
Plus you're covered in ashes.
So
Yeah.
it's Aztec
Oh.
Motel.
I need a
Everybody
shower.
has their night at the Aztec Motel.
Okay,
We'll
alright.
continue the adventure the next morning. And
Alright.
I'm wrapping this up now.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I'm not. I mean, it's just a
Figure of speech.
yeah.
Case closed.
And that was that.
And that was the weird night.
Oh wait, no, this is the figure of speech. This is the figure of speech.
Wasn't that
That
weird?
was that.
That was certainly strange.
The next morning,
Yes.
you are invited to attend the Thelemite Memorial Service.
Yes.
I
Da-da-da!
can't take much more of this.
Well, you're
Bob.
going.
Well, where you're going? We'll be on
Where
the
you're
next
going.
leg of our journey soon, dear.
Alright.
You're at the Spanish Hacienda-style house
Oh, neat.
at 2140 North Beechwood Avenue, which is surrounded by a high hedge. It's the Church of Thelema in Hollywood.
Really?
And yeah, no, it's a 50-minute car ride. Blah blah blah. All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's a lot of driving in this.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yes, we're
you're
there.
ringing the bell.
That we are. What
Quinn
does it sound
Smith.
like?
Quinn Smith, the little just like
We didn't notice anyone following, I guess.
no,
Oh,
there's
okay.
no one following you.
Okay, this
No,
time.
it's just a blazingly sunny, horrible sunny day.
Okay.
So that was Marjorie's car that got stolen.
That's right.
Much too bright.
Yes.
Yeah, much too bright.
So you guys probably got all the logistics of getting your car
Yeah.
from the funeral parlor.
Yeah,
we
we got
dropped
all
her
that
off
sort
back
of-
at
You're
her
having your
place.
coffee and your bacon
Yeah.
and your eggs. And you brushed your teeth.
Yeah,
you washed
good.
up. This is all
Would
taken
we
as
have,
given.
call the police about the stolen car, or
That would be
It's
Marjorie's.
Marjorie's
That would be up to Marjorie.
Marjorie's.
Yeah,
That would
okay.
be her discretion,
Yeah,
whether she's going
yeah.
to or not.
Yeah.
Indeed.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think so. Probably.
But what are we all having for breakfast? That's the next
Oh my god, shut the
Grand
hell
Slam at Denny's. Grand Slam.
I'm going to Scramblers.
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 Let's see.
Did you know about this place, Phil?
What's
Scramblers?
We're not at Scramblers.
Alright.
Okay, so
Over there.
Quinn Smith, the little kid, opens the door.
Oh.
He offers to take your hats.
Oh, so polite.
Tagging after him is a little girl, a toddler, 2 or 3 years of age. That's my cousin Alexis. I'm watching her during the service for Uncle Jack.
Who
Oh.
does she belong to?
The
Who's her mommy and
moonshine.
daddy?
That's one.
Do you know?
Flattery?
Who's?
Flattery?
Flattery.
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 Yeah, I do have flattery.
Who?
Last
What?
one.
Who?
Half of the darling.
Half of it.
No, you don't need to make a point, Sven.
Oh, I don't.
Alexis's mother
Uh-huh.
is Quinn's Aunt Betty.
Okay.
Betty
Betty.
Alright.
is Alexis's mother.
Okay.
And Betty and Jack were a thing for a little.
They were even when Jack was married to Helen.
So that's the moon child. That has to be.
And
Do you believe any of this?
Is she particularly moon-faced?
I don't remember
She
much
shined.
after being sprayed with Jack.
She's lovely. She's a lovely little girl.
Oh.
Did I mention she's an albino?
She exudes radiance like the moon.
So should we talk about the fact that you were possessed by Jack's spirit last night?
What?
We're just saying this, and we're just talking in general.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
like-
but I think I may keep my hat.
That's right. You would have had breakfast at Salem.
Otherwise, my head feels a bit too tight if
Yeah.
I'm not wearing it this morning.
You keeping your hat on?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
No, you basically were talking. It wasn't you who was talking.
I'm curious.
Do you have any memory of that?
Not
You
particularly.
have no memory. So this is the moonchild that this little girl. I think.
I wouldn't have marked you for believing in such things.
I don't. I'm just deducing it because I'm bored.
If this were one of our stories, that would be the moonchild, perhaps.
I agree.
All right. Well, Aunt Mary, who is a older woman, the nanny, comes to takes the children away.
Hmm.
You are entering the foyer, opening into an airy, naturally lit hall with white walls and a dark tiled floor. At its far end is an elegantly paneled set of double doors. It's a really nice house.
Yeah.
On the right is an open closet in which hang what appear to be hooded white choir robes.
Oh.
Adult sized?
Yep.
Okay.
God, you're creepy. Adult sized. Good stuff, man. You gotta remember that.
Child-sized ceremonial robes.
Whoa.
Whoa. On the left.
Sure we don't take a turn for the dark.
No, it's no. On the
This
left,
is a Delta Green, man.
oh shit, yeah. A round white shield hangs in the middle of the wall. Below the shield is a pair of decorative cross swords. The Sator Square looks like this.
Oh.
This shield,
That's a weird looking star.
bears a starburst-like symbol traced in black. Does anybody... All right, let me ask occult.
Yo.
All right, you know that this is the unicursal hexagram of the Church of Thelema, a symbol of the creed devised by Crowley. The words Sator Arepo Tenet Opera Rotas, inscribed in a circle on its rim. You can puzzle over the words on the shield. Does anyone have cryptography?
I do. I have 1 point of cryptography.
You notice that the phrase is a palindrome. Who has archaeology? Nobody. Somebody's got to have
I
one.
have Anthro.
Okay, that'll count.
Yep.
You remember that this sentence was found preserved as graffiti on the walls of Pompeii.
Oh, sure.
Okay, in the form of a square, and that some degree of uncertainty accompanies attempts to interpret its meaning. Latin translates the phrase awkwardly as farmer Arepo works a wheeled plow. So you're talking about this, with you know this also. You also have a cult. You notice that, that this is the square associated with the worship of Mithras in ancient Rome. Would you like to make a point spend of occult?
Yes, I would. Sweetly.
Turns into, you can correct the translation, Horus the sower bears toil and torment. Okay. Present in the room are Jane Wolfe, clad in a robe of black, and a dozen other people of various ages in white robes.
Do we feel awkward because we're not wearing robes?
Would you like a white robe? There's a whole bunch of them in the...
Would you like a white robe?
So this is
Do we
missing
have
a
to
word.
wear a robe?
Yes, it is.
I see.
Do we have to wear one?
If you would like to wear one, you may. If you don't wish to wear one, you don't have to.
I will choose to wear one.
Excellent.
Yes, I'm already in one.
Boucher, you're in one?
I'm
You're the best.
still wearing my hat, so
Still
obviously
wearing your
I can't
hat.
put a robe.
No, we're
Oh,
not
wouldn't
gonna do
that would be great.
We're not going to do it.
It's like a robe with, like, you know, it's my nice wicker traveling hat.
Okay.
So that symbol was on the shield?
It was on the
On
shield.
the shield.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've translated that as Horus
Horus the sower bears
bears
toil and torment. Lovely, isn't it? Lovely. All right, Jane Wolfe is clad in a robe of black, and a dozen other people of various ages are there in white robes.
Various ages, so are there
Yes.
children in robes?
Various ages. No, there are no children. Children aren't there.
Right.
There are no
They've been ushered away.
They're,
Yeah, I
yes.
know. They're
Okay.
ensconced somewhere else.
And Jane Wolfe will take on the role of deacon during the service. Whoever wishes to wear a robe may. The Thelemites are in the main middle age or older, although there are a handful of children present. Just, they're there.
Just throwing it out there.
We are waiting for the priest and priestess to ready themselves, someone says.
Oh God.
Okay,
I'm
there's
getting an
a-
instant pit in my stomach.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of people here. There's all the Thelemites, okay? We've got...
No one looks at us when they say that, right?
Yeah.
Meet the
okay, God.
Thelemites. Time to meet the Thelemites.
Thelemites.
Betty Wimpole is here.
Okay.
She's, late 20s. She's still distraught, barely keeping it together. We have Ray Burlingame,
Oh.
a corpulent mystic, age 59.
Oh,
Okay.
We have his wife Mildred, a formidable matriarch. Their daughter Layla,
Okay.
a waif. Phyllis Seckler, who is 35, a serene Earth Mother type. Her children, Paul, a Hellion, and Lisa, an awkward poetess.
Oh, I love them.
Georgia Schneider is age 45. She's a sickly neurasthenic. Louis Culling, 58, is a leering mountebank.
Ooh, whoa.
Mika Aldrich is a stage gypsy astrologer. Maria Prescott, an embarrassingly ancient doxy. Men are dressed as Frater and women as Sorer, brother and sister.
Yeah.
They are eccentric and ill-adapted.
Oh God. This is the group Jack was hanging out with.
Yes.
God help me if I'm ever described as a corpulent mystic.
Wait, does Phil say that?
Yes.
Yes, you would like something?
The translation with the word plow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Horus the sower bears toil and torment.
Okay. Was there a different translation?
Yes, an earlier uncorrected
Oh, okay.
translation is farmer or repo works a wheeled plow.
Okay.
Close.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's no idiomatic.
Okay.
So, there they are in all their glory.
They're ill. What did you say? They were ill.
Ill-adjusted, ill-adapted,
Yeah,
eccentrics,
they just-
oddballs,
yeah.
freaks.
Well, this feels very much like grad school, so
Yeah,
so I'm
Yeah.
not uncomfortable. Right.
Yeah, it's all the leering mountebanks.
Yeah.
And yeah.
corpulent mystics.
Corpulent
Yeah.
mystics. Yeah.
And then, like, stage gypsies, nurse mothers. and
Yeah.
that's everybody,
Yeah.
right? That's us.
What was the poetess? What was her adjective?
Poetess?
Awkward.
Awkward poetess.
Awkward poetess, yeah.
It's adorable.
It is, isn't it?
All right.
Okay, so you can ask any of these people anything you
Oh
want.
my god.
Um,
Oh, I just don't want to be called into a ritual again.
well, you won't be called into a ritual again.
Okay.
Well, sir.
Take off all your clothes.
Never
Right.
get
I'm trying to forget it.
Not gonna
You want the
pass.
robe now?
Yeah.
It's gonna be time for communion soon. that rocket juice again.
All right. So Jane is there.
Jane's there, yeah.
And is there a ceremony ongoing, or?
There will be a service starting in approximately 15 minutes.
All right, so there's mingling at this point.
Yes.
I'm going to thank Jane for rescuing us out of the desert last night. It was quite
Oh, that was nothing.
adventure.
That was nothing at all. Say, you know what? I found this book on the ground.
What is it?
It's a copy of Psychohistory.
Psychohistory.
Oh,
Oh, the
Is it yours?
Vance's thing.
No,
Wimples.
it's
Wimples.
Wimples.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I know Wimple runs the church, but I don't think this is his book.
It's not
May I see it?
Oh, certainly.
Oh,
There
okay.
you are. Take
Is
it.
it well thumbed?
It is.
Okay.
There's there's some notations in it. You want to look through?
Is there somebody write their name in the front?
Yeah. Is it-
No, but there
There's
are
a
two
contents?
words. There are two. It says friendship org, period,
Friendship
Oh.
and then a phone number.
And
Oh,
phone number.
What's the
hey.
area code?
It's local.
There's no area codes.
Oh, there
Thought
are.
my
No.
notepad jotted down.
There'd be
Oh, yeah, because
letters.
There's just not enough people around.
National
Oh, yeah, Klondike
29000.
5,
Yeah.
5555.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Each wood 45789.
Anyways,
All right. I get it.
a leering mountebank
Oh no.
comes towards you.
No.
Oh, a good
Leering.
looking redhead.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'm used to
hello.
this sort of thing. Yes. How can I help you? How are you?
Who am I? I am Lewis Culling.
Oh my.
Who am I?
So in the presence of such beauty, I forget myself, madam. I'm
Nice.
terribly sorry.
Oh,
Have you come to join this the service for beloved Jack?
I'm here to remember Jack.
Yes.
And he was my husband's colleague, and I'm here out of respect for him.
Very good.
Have you met my husband Bob?
Oh,
My ex-military husband.
My
Oh.
military husband. He's very tall.
Yes, Robert Heinlein.
well, hello,
US
Bob. It only gets
I was
worse.
looking at you.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Well, at least he's not looking at you anymore.
Right. Yes.
Never dealt with
Taking one for the
pansexuals
team.
before.
This is different than the artsy types that I usually.
They're strictly hetero.
No homo. Well, we do espouse the philosophy of free love and open marriage, but mostly it's all about the
Sex.
the non-Christian Gnosticism.
Oh yes.
Yes, spiritual journey in an imperfect world.
Yes, of course. This world is not perfect.
Metaphor of magic and magicians and that sort of thing. Yes, Wilfred Smith came to Canada to found the Agape Lodge in the 1920s with two other adherents.
I heard about that. Was
Yes.
Wilfred Jack's scribe?
No. I believe that was
Vance?
Vance. Yes, Vance
Oh,
was the
Sure.
writer.
Vance.
Oh, I know that. He wrote absolutely anything and he was a pulp fiction author. Of course, I don't know where he is now or what he's doing, but I know that he did hurt Betty terribly. Betty.
So they're no longer together?
She still has his name.
That I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if they are still together. I know that they're on the rocks.
That's sad.
It is. It's terribly sad to see love go bad like that.
Especially since they have a child together.
Yes. It's especially bad when the children are involved.
Yes.
So Wilford, you were talking about Wilford.
Wilfred, yes, he was the founder of the lodge. Of course, he couldn't get enough converts to the lodge to satisfy Crowley. He could not.
Oh.
Yeah, and so he was booted out.
Oh.
He left with Helen, but now he's back.
Mm-hmm.
We have a chance of mending this terrible rift that caused him to leave. It was very sad when he left. He's a very good magician, and it's really Crowley's fault, I think.
Right. Probably sounds like a. I don't know how you describe it.
A genius. As a genius.
Okay.
Yes.
There are many different types of genius.
And he was a genius. Yes. Okay. All right.
Is Wilfred here today?
He is. I believe he is getting his robes on in the back.
I see. Okay.
All right. Now Wolf is assembling you through the double doors, across a portico, encircling an open-air central courtyard. Gorgeous. Money.
Yeah.
It's been converted into a religious sanctuary. Steps lead down into the courtyard itself. At its center, a black stone block 4 feet high holds a small circular ceramic font. At the far end stand 2 obelisks, each about 7 feet tall.
Whoa.
The right one is black and the left one is white. 3 steps tiled in black and white beyond the obelisks lead back to the portico where an altar stands. It is a narrow table 7 feet long, covered with a crimson altar cloth embroidered with a golden sunblaze emblem in the center of the drape. Upon it lies a slim leather-bound volume. Atop a small ornate wooden box, a ceremonial dagger with an ankh-shaped hilt rests upon the book. Beyond the altar is the super altar, an open framework of 3 shelves. It is shrouded with a long and diaphanous veil, through which can be seen various items of occult significance. A stone tablet at the top, a crown in the middle, a chalice with roses at the bottom. Each is flanked by many candles. Standing near the altar is a woman clad in a green robe. This is Helen Smith as the priestess. Behind you and against the walls of the building, there are There's buffet food.
Oh.
There will be a buffet.
After the ceremony.
After the satanic
Yes.
rites, there will be fruit salad.
Yes.
Okay.
Shrimp cocktail.
Bread shrimp, absolutely. It's only the finest. Okay. So there is a bell thrice rung by one of the children. The awkward poetess strikes it 3 times, slightly out of tune. Jane Wolfe as deacon leads the congregation in recitation of the cult's credo. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. Helen, as the priestess, blesses the congregation and calls, "Come forth, O man!"
Uh-oh.
At the rear of the temple, the coffin. There's a coffin. The coffin door opens,
Oh.
What?
and a man in a black robe emerges. He is in his 60s, but still hale and healthy, with a tan. Your basic, Sean Connery type. This is
Yeah.
Wilfred Smith
Okay.
in the role of priest. A child presents him with a ceremonial spear, and he makes his way through the congregation to stand before the priestess at the altar. He speaks the words of the priest that you guys did.
Oh no.
Helen disrobes and stands naked before him.
Oh.
As written, folks, in the
Oh.
congregation,
I'm having
as she
serious
speaks the
flashbacks.
words of the priest.
Yeah.
as the priestess.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh god.
They embrace and part, and the priestess puts her robes back on. At this point, sense trouble difficulty 4, everybody.
Yes.
Just gonna do a straight roll on that one.
Yep.
Likewise.
1.
Fail.
1.
Fail.
Oh, 6.
Hey!
We all get knocked on the back of the head, except
All right, everybody else who's not Boucher is simply watching the service, which Smith is taking up the knife and goes to the priestess. He makes a
Whoa.
cut in her hand with the knife.
Oh, that wouldn't
He-
catch my attention.
Yeah.
Yes. He collects a few drops into the dripping blood in a chalice, into which she mixes some wine. But you are distracted by a muffled sound coming from the other side of the door in the gathering hall outside the sanctuary. It's a scuffle. What are you going to do?
Yes, I'm going to go investigate. Can I
Yes.
get out
Yes,
without
you
anyone
can.
noticing?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'll
There are 3
quietly back out.
All right, you're going into the house, going past the fruit salad. You see Gwen Smith, the little boy, Alexis Wimpole, the little girl, and the nanny, and 3 strangers.
Oh.
3 tough-looking guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I recognize any of them from the van from yesterday? Or
No, you don't
drinking
recognize any of
coffee?
these.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't recognize any of these men.
Hmm.
You notice that they are grabbing the child Alexis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I wish I was there. I'm wondering if they're the 3 guys from the psychohistory lecture. But that's just...
So I rushed forward and stopped them from grabbing Alexis.
Yeah.
Are you there?
See, we're friends. We're friends of the little girl's father here. He wants her back. So you're not going to get in our way here.
Ooh.
Who's Betty?
Huh?
Betty, the mom.
Where is she?
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, the service is continuing.
Well, you brought someone with a scuffling of 6.
Yeah.
The priest.
Look, you.
Well, just hang on. Hold on to your shorts there, buddy.
All right.
The service inside continues. The priest drinks from the chalice, as does the priestess. The deacon then goes around to the members of the congregation with the chalice.
Oh.
This isn't dangerous at all.
Yeah.
Offering them to drink.
I
As
want to be
the
the last
priest
in line there.
chants a litany of blessings.
Blood, though.
At some point, don't fret.
Oh.
Yes, they hear you
Yeah.
saying,
Oh!
and then Gwen runs through the doorway saying, "The bad men are taking Alexis! The bad men are taking Alexis!"
Oh. Okay.
Okay. We're rushing out.
Right,
Yeah, rushing
running
out.
up there.
Now, do I recognize them?
You do!
Oh.
You do recognize the psychohistorians.
Ah.
Betty is screaming. She's trying to grab her child back from the psychohistorians.
Nobody hit the fat guy with a 2x4. It won't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
She looks up at one of them and says, "Miles, how could you?"
Oh.
Miles. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
And then some of the Thelemites are like, "Oh, don't worry," and then some of them are like,
Oh, this is
So.
horrible.
Yeah.
So it's a general hubbub.
"It's a hubbub.
Yeah.
It's a hubbub."
Okay. So where's the little girl right now? Like, is she
She's being held
grabbed
by Miles.
She's grabbed by one.
Miles
of them.
Hollister is his name.
All right.
Hmm.
We got orders to get both Alexis and Betty,
Oh my God.
but we'll just take Betty if it comes. Well, the girl's father,
Okay.
you know, like.
There are legal procedures.
Yes.
So.
And at that,
I was asking for it.
Richard DeMille, boom, right in the chops.
Oh!
Wow.
Sends you sprawling.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What is with everyone hitting me?
Exactly.
You don't have scuffling, do you? You don't have scuffling, do you?
Give me a scuffling. You have scuffling?
If he has it.
Oh, I'm
Otherwise,
sorry.
it
I
would
should
be
look at
pretty
this
much
damn
auto.
sheet you spent all this
Would
time.
that,
It's under general.
General.
General?
I don't
It would
have
be
it.
right above
Okay,
the
he's laid out.
She's good.
Yeah.
Voucher.
Do you scuffle?
I don't. Oh, I do actually. Oh, I
All right, come on, a scuffle.
Mentor.
It's a melee.
I see that
It's a
shit.
melee.
Yeah.
Boom.
Get on in!
Yeah.
All right, give me a scuffle.
All right, I'm spending 2 points on
You
scuffling,
guys
Likewise.
love Tony.
and I succeed at my scuffles.
Cool.
Okay, it doesn't seem to hurt him.
God damn it! I should have known.
He ain't no mook. He does not seem to hurt
I'll
him.
go against another one and give him a good old belt with a 6.
Get
Yeah?
Miles.
You give him a belt with a... Oh, man. Let me see. Phew.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually getting happier the more you hit him.
Oh jeez. Oh my
that's
god.
creepy.
Yeah. Oh, he's your match. He's your match, man.
Whoa.
And now other Thelemite men in their robes are
Yeah.
starting to get fractious and they're picking shit up.
Oh.
Towards
Like-
us or towards
no,
them?
towards them.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of a general craziness.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
kind of
A lot of
loosey-goosey.
shouting.
There's medallions swinging, you know, it's just like...
It's like one of those parliament brawls in like
Yeah, exactly.
China or something.
Yeah, exactly. And there's fruit salad flying. Yeah.
There goes the ambrosia.
The crab stuffed avocados.
Wilfred Smith has got one of Richard DeMille, one of the guys. Wilfred Smith has got him and is trying to like like really engage him and talk to keep him from fighting. It's like everybody's trying what they're good at.
Yeah.
So where's the little girl? Is she been unhanded?
Is she still grabbed by Miles?
Right. If Miles
She's
is
been
fighting,
unhanded.
then
She's
think-
been
Alright,
unhanded.
can I find her and grab her?
Yes.
Okay.
Frank, here comes Frank Dressler.
I don't care.
All right, let's go for it.
Here comes Iron Balls McGinty.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Oh, it's on now,
Oh
chaps.
dear.
Here we
I guess I'm
go.
still laid out.
Alright, well, I'm
Okay,
not fighting or anything. I'm not going to fight him.
Yeah, you don't. Well, you
You're
do
not
have
gonna fight him?
scuffling.
I'm scuffling, but
Scuffling can represent just general.
just moving.
Listen, lady.
Yeah.
I gotta get that kid.
No.
You're not gonna stand in my way.
Well, I am.
Give me that kid.
No, leave her alone.
The kid's ours.
No. So
So
I'm
you would make a scuffling roll.
Alright.
Spend what you will on it.
What's the difficulty?
4 probably.
Yep.
Yeah, unless Jen says otherwise.
Yep. Nope. It's 4.
I make it.
You made it.
Grab her and I'm
Oh.
like holding her.
Ooh, this is making him so angry. Do you know who I am?
Bob. A little help.
Actually, I'm gonna just jump on his back.
Oh.
And then you're like, you get your hands off of her. So, 2 points to scuffling, and I fail.
Oh, I am gonna shake you right off, but you do notice that I have a gun.
Oh!
In the scuffling.
So I hit the ground, and I'm shouting, "This guy's got heat!
Ah.
Somebody call the police.
Police!"
Police. Someone does call the police. And now the 3 guys get the kid. They have the kid.
No.
What?
Yep, they have the kid. They got the kid.
Everything?
Yep,
Okay.
they get the kid.
Ah.
They get the kid. And they're trying to get Betty too.
No,
They're
not
trying
happening.
to get Betty.
Yeah.
Not happening.
No.
They're trying to get us both.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm getting in the middle.
All right.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
Bob gonna do?
All right. Well, if they're trying to get her, but they already have the kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to put myself in such a position that Betty can escape if she so needs to.
Yeah. Betty's running towards Wilfred Smith, who she thinks will protect her.
All right, and so I will delay them until the rest of the congregation arrives with their handheld objects of violence.
Okay.
And whatnot.
The thugs, Frank Dressler, Richard DeMille, son of Cecil B. DeMille,
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
and Miles Hollister get Alexis and get inside their black sedan and screech away just as the cops are pulling up.
Yeah. Follow them.
The cops stumble out of their car, are amazed by this lunacy that they're seeing around them
Yeah.
with what's going on,
Right.
and they take you all.
What kind of car
What
was
about
it?
the kidnapping?
We'll figure that all out at the station. Get in the wagon. Y'all go to the joint.
Do you know who I am?
We'll get it all figured out later. And that's the end of part 1.
All right.
Oh.
Good
Yay.
God.
GG, everyone.
Yeah.
So good, Jen.
Yeah.
I love it when you win games.
Oh, I'm glad.
Oh boy.